المابات قدامكم. الماب الأول من اختيار جلوبال اي سبورت ماب هيفن. طيب سكند لوتس جاكم العلم.
And now, as they said, they look to carry forward their ideas. Do it for the boys they've sent back home. A start here from XLG on the attack side of Haven, and already wasting no time. You heard it from Crystal in the interview. They love to fight, and this time the fights are going XLG's way. Even with Patman finding that, he's so low to 2v1.
Oh, the man of the moment.
شباب اذا في صوت ازعاج وانا اكل قولوا لي عادي احط ميوت. طيب
almost an argument to just put him on Killjoy on every single map with what we've seen Crystal do on that specific agent, but this is going to be a tough one. On the other side, Happy Way has been unstoppable, but a little bit shaky for both of them in that fight. It will be a pistol round for XLG to start. And something you mentioned, having to carry on the sort of your I guess the weight of your brother after eliminating them. That was the case for both teams. Both teams had to go through a regional team to get there. So I'm almost looking at this as don't waste it. You had to send someone else home that, well, we talk about those friendships in G as well, the relation that they have to
yeah, اتوقع انك سي جي يسويها ويطلع جلوبال سبورت.
Hearing these guys are scrim partners. They play each other a lot, so I want to see one of them maybe have a few extra ideas of how to beat the other, because that's where they will have practiced everything.
Scrim partners, previous teammates, what half of the players in this game used to play together in some form or the other, going across teams. So
that Ascension game had a lot of the players.
Definitely somewhere that they're familiar with the bodies on the opposite side of the stage. XLG have the pistol. Very strong start from Happy Way. Little spam through the door and a very awkward fight afterwards. Okay, but the weapons now on everybody else for XLG. We don't expect to see them lose all too much. Nice bait by Patman. Pretends to jump out of the window to draw in the fight. Good flash though. Uditon has his vision back, and they're looking to fight this together. Raga has to be careful. Doesn't know there's a player quite as close as he is, and this is getting costly already. Still, the numbers there for XLG. They don't want to lose anybody else, and it's a guessing game as to where Crystal is at this stage of the game.
There'll be a rifle retrieved. The SMGs are not really the worry at this point. And yeah, Crystal, if he can get one, it would be huge, honestly. Just remove some of that additional weaponry. Winning here should be impossible.
زي كذا انا ردي راح بيتهم.
Especially if he waits for somebody to go for the plant. I like the check. Oh no, I don't. I don't like the check. It was half check by Noman, but eventually he will go back. 2-0 for XLG, an important conversion. Now they'll look to build into this map, because I have a feeling the reason that G might have taken us here was after witnessing their display on this map versus DRG, which I'll be honest was very surprising from my side, because I thought they'd go into that match maybe not heavily favored, but at least like even competing on maps that they feel a little bit less confident on.
Well, yeah, I think we saw it in the rest of the series as well, where it was a much closer affair. But that first map, I started to question everything I knew. XLG, in my mind, they were coming in as favorites. I think they made less mistakes in their opening games, but DRG trashed them. It was 13-4 when it comes to Haven. Already, 2 on the board. It's a strong start. XLG take down Uditon as well. This is not going that poorly till Autumn shows up to the site. A double kill, a triple kill, in fact, before he finally falls. And yet still, we're into a 2v2.
2v2.
It was the run it back, one of those kills that was traded out, and especially considering some of the weaknesses in play. Eventually. I think Leo's letting go a little bit too early, and now he's kind of stuck in a horrible position. They know exactly where he is, and Harvey just patient, now knowing where the last man is standing because of the ping. I'm not sure what went on there from the side of XLG. Maybe trying to bait someone in, but it didn't look like that. You don't normally stick it all the way to the very end and then let go if you're baiting.
ليش في هيفن يمشون الباب شالوها وقعدت فترة ورجعوها. كل المابات انشالت ورجعت.
Limited utility on the other side, but maybe just conscious of a quick re-aggression, some deadlock util, the net. The shocks, who knows? Who knows? Or maybe they just stopped defusing a little bit too early, or stopped planting a little bit too
عليكم
early.
السلام ورحمة الله
Either way,
وبركاته.
a 2-1 scoreline. Early half goes as it should, but now XLG come in. They put all their credits into this round. This is a full buy for the attack side with very little margin for error, but that can be said on both sides. If we are going to have a lights out start to this half, this will be the round that decides it.
والله اقدر اجاوبك يا اخي بس بيروح وقت وانا اجاوبك.
The GX doing it every single round, but gets you that little bit of space.
ثلاجة.
Normally we'd come into a game and be highlighting.
والله اليوتيوب يا اخي والله العظيم يا اخي انا اتكسف وانا اتعب على اليوتيوب والناس تجي تسالني هنا.
The players I want to highlight in this game are all
اليوتيوب والله
currently playing
بفيدك.
Sentinel. It was Autumn who will flex later on and Happy Way that, to be honest, to get them through split.
إذا أنت فاهم اللعبة وكل شيء خلاص العب دولست. كمل العب دولست.
Crystal has been solid. He's had at least one map where he looks like the best player on the server, and it doesn't even look close.
ولا تلعب لحالك.
Keep your eyes on him as this game goes on. Patman with the early aggression down C Long. He's been embedded for quite a while, and he's found himself the pick now. C Long no longer in the hands of XLG. They look to fight deep towards the spawn, and Morg has taken a double, but they don't think there's more here. They were ready for Abby. 3 under his belt already, and Leo won't last long. GE looked like they were in trouble there, like they were backed against the wall.
مستحيل تلعب 5 ساعات الحين قلت لا عادي ما ويلكم باك على العنود.
You see the fight forward from Braga and they're able to take out both players. They go, okay, well there was no re-swing. I guess Harvey just a little bit further behind on the rotation, but I almost wonder if they think he was baiting at that point just because of the gap that came in, but it worked perfectly. Harvey then still had to hit all of the shots, and that's exactly what he does. Hunter's Fury online. Opponent's economy completely reset. Well, in this round, other than some pistols and a stinger, not much to play with at all.
Yeah, they're going to sit back and wait. XLG thinking maybe there was some A aggression coming up. Smoke down on shore, it's going to deny them even if they crossed over having any kind of fight in favor. Towards the B site, and I think this is a good round for some experimentation. You really have to get an idea of what G are doing with their Sentinel utility when they have so much. But the problem is they have so much they can just keep changing up those positions, and the main problem will be Crystal.
أعطيك معلومة ما أدري إذا بتأيدني فيها ولا لا.
On this map, and those sensors are going to punish No Man every time he wants to dash in to take space if he chooses the wrong side.
وإذا شيء يمكن يمس كلامك انت اللي سالتني قلت انا طولت خلي راوند يخلص.
Individually, but he's had a great start to this game, and mainly that's because they've had so many other highlight players individually.
والله المعلومه دي يمكن تزعل البعض.
It's going to be awkward there. You even mentioned it. He tries to go over the utility that was blocking him, walks into more utility. A nasty setup, and for Patman just lurking around the edge of the smoke. They saw, okay, they've got all this utility. At least it's probably clear.
في ناس بالفطرة سريعين التعلم. بنتكلم في الألعاب أوكي. في ناس بالفطرة واحد مثلا يكون لاعب لعبة مختلفة، خلني أقول لك أيا كانت اللعبة، يجي يلعب فالورنت في فترة بسيطة في أقل من سنة عادي يوصل لمورتل. إنسان واعي، إنسان صاحي، إنسان ذهين، إنسان يتعلم بسرعة، إنسان فهمتوا؟ والعكس صحيح، في ناس لا يحتاج سنوات ويمكن ما يوصل، بطيء في التعلم، متعب، ردات فعله بطيئة، متعب، فهمتوا؟ كذا هي ترى. فالواحد يختار مجاله في الألعاب، لكن في ناس مثلا يبغى يتعلم شوتر، إلا أنا أحب ألعب شوتر وأبغى أتعلم شوتر بس ما هو قادر. خلاص هي كذا. هذا يحتاج له كوتش خاص فيه، لكن في ناس ما يحتاجون كوتش. ليه؟ ما يبغى شيء، تابع بطولات، العب كل يوم، ادخل براكتس، المقاطع اللي موجودة ببلاش، أجانب وعرب شارحين اللعبة تفيدك، خلاص توصل. تكلم الواحد جاي من الصفر لعبة شوتر كذا، ولا أول مرة يلعب لعبة زي فالو سي اس. لكن في ناس لا، يقعد 3 سنين، 2 4 5 ما يوصل رانك. ليه؟ خلاص تعلم بعض الأمور وقاعد عليها، مو قادر يتطور، هو بطيء في التعلم. هذا يبغى له كوتش خاص فيه، يبغى له جلسات خاص فيه، فهمتوا؟ هو مو انسان ما يلقط المعلومات، يبغى له براكتس معين، تسلسل معين توصل المعلومه وهكذا. مو كل شيء بالممارسه. انا اختلف معك فيها. في ناس تمارس بس ما تتقن. افهم فينا. اوكي كل شيء بالممارسه ما اختلف، خلاص انت لانك عارف انك انت انسان كويس، انت يبغى لك ممارسه وبتعلم. مثل السواقه، في ناس خلاص يجرب المره الاولى، يجرب الثانيه، اسبوع قد هو متعلم، شهر وخلاص وبعدين مع الممارسه بتمشي اموره. في ناس لا، يتعذب في السواقه ما يعرف، صعب التعلم عنده، اخذ سنه فوق السنه سنتين لما تعلم السواقه. في ناس كذا مثل الالعاب، فهمت؟ يبغى له هذا اللي يتعلم السواقه، يبغى له اخصائي تدريس، اخصائي له، مش اي انسان عادي. فهي مجالات اللي ابغى اوصلك يا خلاص الحديث في فالورنت او في غيرها في الالعاب مجالات كثيره. في ناس سبحان الله يتوفقون في العاب الالغاز. انا لما اشوف احد يلعب لعبه لغز ويحل دي يفكر كيف يفكر، كيف انا يبغى لي ادخل والعب العاب الغاز فهمت؟ سبحان الله تركيبه مخه تلقط للامور. فكويس في العاب الالغاز والايستر ايجز وزي كذا، فهمتوا؟ في ناس متوفقين في العاب مختلفه، مثلا العاب ميكانيك حقها مختلف، زي روكت ليك مثلا، وهكذا. في ناس بفيفا وهكذا. في ناس لا في العاب الشوتر اللي مثل العاب هذه. تمام، هذه مجالات. طيب التعلم، في ناس يتعلمون سواء تحب الشيء ولا ما تحبه. نتكلم التعلم في ناس بطيئين في التعلم، وفي ناس سبحان الله بالفطرة يتعلم بسرعة. وانا منهم مثلا. انا خليت عشان اتعلم فالورنت ولا شيء، ترى السنة الاولى قفلتي مورتل، وهكذا. ناس تتعلم بسرعة. انا لو حبيت لعبة مثلا، في واحد ممكن في الشات اقول له يقول لي انا حبيت لعبة، لو حب لعبة مثلا اول مرة بيتعلمها فترة بسيطة ما يطول. اذا حب اللعبة ولا يتعلم بسرعة، غير لا يقعد سنة يحفظ. فمن شخص لشخص.
Raga already with the trade though, and actually Happyweight's found another. This starts to get a little dangerous until Yudotan finds a double. Even still, these weaker weapons have put them into a 2v2 again. Patman is already walking behind. No, the second they go for the plant, this is a problem. I don't think there's any way that Raga can react to this. Now Happyweight's left in an awkward spot once again, blinded up as he tries to retreat.
لو ذبح لهم كان عنده فرصة.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? The camera timing on short, when it's activated, didn't catch Patman. He got a timing, and the fact that there's a trip behind, but he's an omen. So he can easily just teleport past that. It's exactly what they go for. And G find themselves wrapping up behind very quickly. Despite that...
هي كلها حاجات عقلية. كلها ذهنيا. الرجل البيلد اب ذهنيا مخه يلقط. في ناس سبحان الله في زي الجدران في مخه، صعب يصل المعلومة له. فهمت؟ في واحد يمر من عنده شيء من قدامه يستوعبها، يفهمها، يخزنها، يحفظها. في واحد لا، ما يدري عنها، لازم 10 مرات عشان يستوعب ذا الشيء. فصعوبات تعلم هي فقط. هذه الفكرة.
I think my only worry is we have seen a bit of that already with like some of the earlier low buys that they can.
نفس الدراسة سبحان الله، ما تحس في ناس في الدراسة سبحان الله ما يحتاج أستاذ ولا يحتاج شروحات، من يوم يشرح الدكتور قدم مخزن معلومة يرجع هو بالبيت يذاكر، عنده الإمكانيات. عنده من الله سبحان الله إنسان في مجال الدراسة واعي مصحصح. لكن حط في ناس لا مقفل، حط ذا اللي مقفل في شيء هواوي يحبه. شوف كيف سبحان الله، وجب ذا اللي فاهم في الدراسة في لعبة ولا في ميكانيكا ولا في مجال سيارات ولا في هندسة مختلفة يضيع. ناس وناس، في ناس مخهم مفتح في امور، في ناس لا. هذه من الله سبحانه ترى. لكن ما يعني ان الشخص ما يقدر يتعلم الشيء. الاختلاف فقط في الفترة الزمنية، ناس تاخذ شهر، ناس تاخذ 5 سنين.
If he gets one and gets out, his job is done, and there's an easy reveal. The second trip, not expected, but Happyway converts, and Lysor's there for another. Now XLG are heating up, and the A site plant is locked in.
والله يا ولد XLG قاعد يحاول قاعد يحاول. الراوند هذا عندهم لا ترولون بس كريستال ترى ليش سوى ردة فعل بوجهها كأنه قال
I wouldn't be mad to see him go for this. No escape. His previous team facing off against him, but with no spams being found. In fact,
في بعض الأحيان اللي ياخذ 5 سنين أفضل من سنة. ما ودي أقول لا بس في الغالب لا كلامك ما بصحيح. معليش. أنا أقول لك واحد في سنة تعلم فالورنت من إلى ختمها. واحد لا والله قعد 5 سنين. وبعدين وصل لمرحلة اللي ذا وصلها في سنة. هذاك اللي واصل في سنة قد وصل 50 سنة قدام. وهذا باقي في 5 سنين تو واصل الشيء اللي وصل ذاك في سنة. أختلف معك. إلا إذا راعي السنة تعلم اللعبة وقف سوى بوز جلس في محله. كم خالد تبوسي.
Even going into the late round there, not a lot of that utility is being broken. Now, of course, that kind of
الأدوات الخارجية تقصد أدوات خارجية ماوس باد وشاشة وماوس وكيبورد طبعا تفرق مليون بالمية تفرق مليون.
Already destroying what was thrown down by Crystal, but he's still doing a lot to delay them.
الجهاز البي سي الشاشة الماوس الكيبورد الماوس باد.
This is something that was mentioned on the desk
تفرق.
Weaknesses towards this
أقسم بالله تفرق.
XLG been running into numbers there and it doesn't even seem to matter. Definitely feels like the attack have cracked the code to getting the spike.
يقول لي ما تفرق إذا أنت لعيب يا رجال ارجع روح وراك بس.
But it's on the site. It's not likely to be used and they've lost Happyway. And all coming in on the back lines means they fight forward and no man brings the heat for the triple. At this point the off being saved is probably the best outcome, but he's got to be quick. 30 HP a straight shot to take him down. Okay,
الماوس باد والماوس الشاشة أكثر شيء يفرق في فالورنت نسبة كبيرة. يعني ممكن أقول لك الجهاز يشغل بس اللي يفرق مرة يعني إذا الفريمات تمشي الحال حلو في فالورنت إذا إنك تحط كل شيء لو ما تحتاج ماوس باد شاشة بعدين يجي بعده كيبورد بعدين يجي بعده بي سي والفريمات كل ما رفعتها أحسن.
In hand and get a rebuy into the next round, but I wonder what is the moment that maybe we see a pause in there, because if the momentum starts to flip, or more so if they just found the gap, that weaker side, because even with the
إذا ما تفرق ليش البروز يحرصون على انتقاء ماوس وماوس باد وهي اللي ياخذونها معهم؟ ليش مو خل كل شيء ديفولت؟ إذا لعيبة ما يفرقون لو هي ما تفرق لو جزء بسيط ما تفرق ما اعتمد هذا الشيء وهي تفرق بمراحل ما تتصورها.
A side had been working, GE come up with a solution and now the other side of the map gets pressured. Let's listen in with XLG on this push.
Get in backside first. Go backside, backside. I know exactly where. Okay guys. Guys, I go playing open. Nice guys, 2v5. Get open come. FCT. Wait, they don't have a small, guys. I play OT. Both B players. I play OT, guys. I run already. Go hard. Don't let them save up. You all have up. No, let me pick. Chill. Guys, chill. Saving. It's okay. He ran A. 100.
Well, you might have a couple of picks for Crystal and Uditan in the end, but that only confirms that they saved their rifles for XLG, showing that A-side isn't the only one.
لو يعطي تنز السروال الكرسي حقي هو الماوس باد بيبدع ما اختلفنا بس ما يقدر يلعب برو فيها ما يقدر انه يوصل للأداء الماكس حقه في اللعب. أي لاعب مثلا تقول لي يا ولد أنا بسوي تحدي إني أوصل إيمورتال مثلا بكرتون يعني ماوس باد كذا تحدي مو مستحيل بس صعب. هي تحديات هذه الاشياء لكن لا تقول لي ما يفرق يطفي النور يقول اللاعب الفنان ما تفرق معه. طيب اللاعب الفنان أنت تحد من إمكانياته لما ما تعطيه أفضل الأشياء اللي ممكن يقدم فيها صح ولا لا؟ فكر فيها شوي. نفس لاعب كرة القدم وأنت بكرامة جزمته الشراب اللبس صح ولا لا؟ ما يفرق لو يلعب اختلفنا لو يلعب حافي كويس بيبدع.
rather than almost lean into some of those retakes.
Yeah, we saw him run out of garage. He's at another direct play from XLG. This time more numbers and utility waiting for them. Hunter's Fury still draws first blood. And Crystal's thinking about emerging from that smoke, but he'll never make it close. Rarka spanning him through. Great flash on backside and crumbling is the current state of the defensive side. The jump over is even going to be potentially heard. And yes, Happyway did. Right? Okay. Oh, either way, he gets it right in the end. The op of Utatan. Again, should be denied the ability to save. XLG wanted to stop him last time, and a couple of picks later, they gave up. But this time, the net is already cast so wide. Happyway is sat on the A side. He's about to have a freebie, you have to think. Utatan is clearing it, though. And he hits the shot. All right, fair enough. He's earned that op.
Yeah, he's been trying to be in the right place at the right time over the last couple of rounds, but he's never been in position, and
قبل الراوند الأخير هذا حق الهافتايم يا أخي تعبت وأنا أقول للو رانك. تعبت وأنا أقول لو رانك. أنا أتكلم يا رجال إلين الدايموند، أوكي؟ إلين الدايموند، حتى للأسندنت يا رجال، حتى للإمورتال. بس خلينا نقول في الملعنة اللي هي إلين بلات دايموند، يعني هي اللي فيها زقاقة نوعا ما، بعدين خلاص تنفك. بدونك يجيك ناس شوية مصحصحين، شوي مو مرة زقان شوي. لا تلعب لحالك يا ابني، تكفى. وحيد ما عندك أخوة، ما عندك أصدقاء، حاول قد ما تقدر تحكحكها مع أحد. والمجتمعات موجودة والسفرات موجودة. لا تلعب لحالك. تلعب سولو بتاكل زق. تبغاها خالصة، هذا العلم. العب ستاك إذا قدرت. إذا ذا أضعف الإيمان ترايو، أنا أنصح في الترايو 3. إذا مرة دو. هذه أهم نصيحة. لو كل واحد يقول أنا أزبل من الثاني، أنا حمار واللي معي حمار، تكرمون. بس العبوا، كونوا جماعة. بتطلع بتنفرج، تلعب لحالك بتاكل هوا. معليش تبغى الحق، هذه النصيحة. إذا أطور من إيم يطور، لا تطور ضفعة، طور علاقتك الاجتماعية إنك تلقى ناس وبتطلع إن شاء الله. فكر في السولو بعدين في الإمورتال ونطالع، حتى في الأسندنت ابدأ يا رجال من الدايموند عادي. فكك من لعنة اللورانك.
leaving everybody with knowledge of where he is and
in easy عني بيقول لي يا عيال ابغى نصيحه، بقول له عض على صغيره، خلنا نركز الجيم. كل كلام اذا قاعد احطه في اليوتيوب يجي يسالني اني سب لي واحد وقال لي من هذا اللو رانك ما اقدر ارد عليه، جاني بانك ما خلاص ما هي. انا اعلمك، هي وانا اخوك تبغى تطلع تبغى نصايح تطلع من اللو رانك. انا شلبي ابو خالد منزل مليون مقطع، كل السلاسل القديم، منزل 8 شروحات قايد في قناة شلبي كليبس، وقايد مبسط وجديد في قناة شلبي الجديدة. ما تبغى تشوفها، مالك علاقة في اليوتيوب، ما اقدر اخدمك انا هنا. على الاقل هنا ارمي لك كلام، اقول لك لا تلعب لحالك، وهي فعلا اهم نصيحة، واذكرها هناك واذكرها في البث. لا تلعب لحالك، لا تلعب لحالك، لا تلعب لحالك، لانك اذا لعبت مع احد تتعلمون فكرة انك تتعلم وتداركون المواضيع اسرع، انكم تخدمون بعض اسرع. هو يجيب معلومة، أنت تجيب معلومة، تكونون كلكم تتعلمون. لما تكون لحالك خبرة التعلم عندك بتكون أبطأ، أو اكتساب المسمو أبطأ. فهمت علي؟ فهمت علي؟ الكام عصبت بلعنها، واضح؟ معلي مطفي المكيف. طيب؟ فهذه نصيحتي. لا تلعب لحالك. التيم زق، أيوه أنا أقول التيم زق وأنا في الإمورتال، وأقول التيم تبن وأنا في الإمورتال. طيب إيش أسوي؟ على الأقل أنا وصلت خلاص مرحلة ممكن إني أتدارك. أنا عندي المسمى إن في أمور ممكن. فهمت علي يا قلبي أنت؟ ولا لا؟ ولا كلامي في الهواء؟ خلاص. وبكرة بنسأل السؤال، وبعده بنسأل السؤال، وأقول من اليوتيوب نزلت مقاطع في اليوتيوب، نصائح في يوتيوب في جايد، بنزل مقطع جديد فيه نصائح، وانصح. طب أنا عالق. عندي أخويا التيم زق. طيب اليوتيوب لا تلعب لحالك. نزلت في اليوتيوب لا تلعب لحالك. نزلت في اليوتيوب لا تلعب لحالك. 60 مرة. ما تبغى تشوف اليوتيوب أنت خسران. والله العظيم أقولها وأنا واثق. مقاطع في اليوتيوب اللي أنا نزلتها في اليوتيوب هي قديمة، صح؟ قديمة. يمكن الحين تشوف حاجة يا ولا تطورها. إني هذا اللي قاعد أسويه. نزلت واحد وإن شاء الله بيجيك الخير قدام. بس هل منها فايدة؟ منها 60 فايدة. تحداك تلقى مثل شرحي. أنا واثق من نفسي يوصل لي معلومة، وأعرف الخبرة اللي عندي وطريقة شرحي. يمكن تلقى أحسن مني وأنت تتقبله، بس أنا برضو أشوف الشيء اللي أنا قاعد أقدمه حاجة مفيدة بأسلوبي الخاص. كنت تشوف واحد يجيب واحد فنان يشوف شرح يقول يا رجال لا يتفلسف، خلاص ما حق انا اتفلسف، تتقبل فلسفتي ولا خلاص. يلا الله يعطيكم العافيه، لا نطلع برا اشوف شغله الجيم تكفون. بسم الله.
Oh, for their sake, you got to hope that
الاسندنت لو رانك لا.
they've come in with a solid attack side.
يعني
It's
يعتبر
been a rough start to the game for Autumn, someone who was
لا انا اشوف الهاي رانك يبدا من
in their series yesterday, but there's still a second half to be played, and the defensive side of this comp can be very difficult already.
تبدا في الميكس بين الهاي
but he had support on the side. Lysor trying to hold the line, but running out of bullets, and well,
مد
didn't have any
ميكس ما بين مد وهاي. لا تصدق مد رانك اسندنتي. اسندنت دايموند ابلات كلهم مد رانك. الهاي من اللي مرتلف.
1 versus 4. You know, it's definitely not in his favor.
اللو من الجولد تحت.
The deadlock wall certainly doesn't help out. I would say the trip behind, but they certainly.
مع ان البلات اشوفه ميكس ما بين المد واللو، والاسندنت اشوفه ميكس ما بين الهاي والمد. لانه هو الفاصل بالنسبه لي الواحد يبداها يطيح فيه مختلف.
Talking about them being scrim partners playing against each other regularly, it almost seems like this one's been mapped out, but I also do go in looking at GE on the attack. Like, you kind of expect having that double senti to maybe help you out on the defensive side, but I also do think that a lot of deadlock compositions have potential on the attack, at least to clear angles, make things that little bit more awkward, not leave you with safe space to stand in. So I definitely want to see what ideas they have. It will, however, put a lot of pressure onto Yudotan. Over on that Neon, it's going to have to be that hard entry for the majority of rounds, and at least in this one, a bit of a slower paced default. Of course, maybe even expecting there to be a stack, which there is. Although I will say at the moment, Autumn is walking directly into it. Of course, he's normally your lurk player, so it's kind of what you want from him.
It's a good thing the wall was in the way there.
It didn't look like it was, but you know.
No, it didn't, but pretty sure I saw a man get shot in the head and not go down. Autumn finds himself one, does some damage, loses a Marshal. It is what it is. If anything, confirmation for the rest of the squad that the seaside is the right way to go. The spike can make it there. It's been sprinting ever since he went down. It's just now making it towards the site. Deep position from Patman. This is a big risk, but he should fly under the radar. You never really expect him to be embedded in a round like this, and it means plenty of kills coming up from Patman.
Yeah, he also had nothing to lose. I think that's the best thing about it. They kill him, they get a ghost.
He's
at least delayed them a little bit, and he can get the information over. He even threw down a deeper smoke to go like, okay, yeah, you need to play into this site from here. And instead, he's able to farm them up. 7-7, level once again.
تليبورت أمن ينسمع وين يروح لا من وين تسوى.
But Patman getting that many additional kills means he can now invest into a Vandal. They will, of course, be coming up against 5 rifles on the other side, though.
يعني ما عليه والله يلعنون. اللي طلعت لي هذه الآن هنا في النهاية بالشفايف ما يهمني، أنا اللي في اللسان تذبحني بس خلاص. تعودت عليها، ما يلعب بنفسيتي إلا اللسان.
XLG have the man advantage to work with. Good stun, but there's a second layer to this defense. Rarga was standing by, and that's completely caught Yudotan off guard. Rarga with another, volley buying more time, allowing them to break this wall, or at least have it decently broken. Oh, this is a problem.
They've done so much damage, though. Harvey is desperately low, but even still, the bullet's not connecting. Not able to get the gun, though. And Harvey is just trying to run for the hills. I think realizing that, yeah, you know what, on 4 HP, planting pretty much anywhere on that site would have been an immediate death sentence. I think, though, he was hoping that maybe they rotate away. That's all he really has, is the element of surprise. And if they just wait and play this together on the XLG side,
30 seconds left.
There is no element of surprise, because at some point he has to
إذا سويت تبي تسمع الصوت من مكانه بعد النغفة اللي جاء.
Maybe he was hoping for a little bit earlier. They are very
إذا فيك
تسمع صوت التبي اللي راح له. من مكانه ما. They know exactly where he is, and now, well, now it is exactly pinpoint with a reveal up top. I know he hasn't gone to mid. They got there in time to fill in that space. The dots connected. Javi is going to have a sensational performance, and he almost had a shot fired at each player. Luckily,
لا إذا فيك يمديك تعرف هذه إذا يورو تدري إنه كان قدامك وسمعت صوت تي بي بعيد يعني إنه راح من المكان اللي هو فيه بتسمع صوت إنه طلع زي البوابة. إذا ما سمعت الصوت القريب منك وسمعت صوت التي بي البعيد اعرف إنه فيك. هذا النرف اللي جاي يورو. قبل ما كنت أسمع إذا هو صوت الجيت هذا ما تسمع. كصوت زي الباب اللي يفتح الباب، عرفت الصوت حقه ذا الديفنشن الأزرق صار يطلع صوت. أنا اللي اكتشفته في ذا البطولة معلومة جديدة علي أنا أبو خالد، معلومة الوال حق فايس صراحة جدا 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 يعني كذا الواحد يكتسب جيم سنس متابعة البطولة. شوف إلى يومك هذا أنا 5 سنين 6 سنين في اللعبة، تخيل ذي معلومة جديدة علي. صح فايس لها سنة أو عليها بعد، صح هذه معلومة جديدة علي حق وال الفايس. فكل شوي بتستفيد من حاجة تعبي مخك. متابعة البطولات، متابعة ستريمر يناسب ستايل لعبك، مقاطع يوتيوب كلها تغذي ذهنك والجيم سنس والخبرة اللي تحتاجها وقت التطبيق. مش بالضروري انك تطبق تمشي باسلوبك بس تكتسب خبرة. ليش سوى كذا؟ ليش صار كذا؟ اوه
on that side and still spread across the map is the rest of GE. A chance to maybe try and respond over the top of this. Plant not coming in just yet, but immediate double kills up for the global esports side. Raga's ult not likely to do too much in this moment as he was blocked out by all of the utility, and then he's caught in the back by Crystal anyway, who closes it with 3.
معلومة الوال حق فايس ان الوال ما يتسوى له تريجر، ما يرتفع اذا وقفت فوقه وقفت، واذا جيت فوق الوال ومريت بعدين قال تين بعدين دخلت يرتفع. لو قعدت فوق الوال وواقف ما راح يرتفع بس الصوت طالع، فينتظرك الوال يا ترجع يتقدم فتقدر تجيب تيمك يوقفون بعدين تدخلون مرة واحدة.
That avoided what could have been a really nice fight back from Lysor up on that plat. Instead, 8-8. XLG challenged and forced down to pistols. This should be Global Esports taking themselves the lead.
Yeah. Well, that's going to help. I was going to say they've always been pretty good in these rounds, but when you have that mid-trap and lose a player so early,
you will stand still. يعني بالعربي بتصير واقف انت من يوم تسوي الوال تريجر. تشوف الوال غالبا تجي وقت الكونتاكت البلاي هذا تسويه متى؟ اذا سويت كونتاكت للسايت يعني رايح للسايت ووك شيفت ووك او الليركر سنتينل واضح او ايا كان. هذه معلومه مش بالضروري انك تطبقها، معلومه هذا جيم سنس. نفس لما اقول لك يمديك تنيف الدق حق فيد لو جاك ما يحتاج تطلق عليه بينكسر بالنايف. معلومة استعملها خلاص.
Already one pickup for XLG. This early push getting them in a really nice position. Crystal's made it out. Wall behind as well, just to contain. And a 4v3 from this spot doesn't look too bad for GE.
30 seconds left.
A bit scary and
ما دخل.
Argo will heal up a little bit. Happyway's managed to find one. Even damage here would be nice, but we're starting to see the step up of Autumn. Okay, Patman. Both of these players are in a bit of a shaky spot, but never mind. Autumn there to save the day.
والله ما ادري ام في بي يبغى لي حرق اذا ابغى اجيب راديانت، يبغى لي استلج ابث 10 ساعات العب واجد. انا ملتي مع التصوير والمحتوى والبطولات، ما تدري يمكن تجي فتره اعرق واخلي محتوى هدف، فهمت؟ شوف
Very successful early half. This time the pistol added to the equation.
اي لازم تلعب يا رب.
XLG are going to
ما راح تحصل لوبيات يب.
out of runway very quickly. Calling for a timeout here. We're going to take a moment.
Well, you remember what happened in the last half. He took a timeout, they played one eco round, and then they won 5 rounds in a row. So
Yeah, you're right.
I would say Avoya's pause so far in this series have been pretty good. Obviously, it is only the first of the lot. And for the second, he kind of needs to have the same amount of impact, but this time it's going into a virus. Got the operator that will be coming up for No Man as well. You're going to have the rifles on the remainder. My one worry is, even though there's a Hunter's Fury on both sides, I'm looking at that deadlock ult. I feel like on attack especially, you can, even if you don't hit anyone, you can clear a ridiculous amount of angles with that ultimate. And especially if you are running like a, I don't know, a solo Cypher setup, which we have seen in quite a lot of rounds, double duelist aggress somewhere, solo Cypher. If that Cypher gets caught, you're almost screwed off rip.
Let's see if XLG have figured this one out here on the defense. Flash in the pan, winning the 3rd round, but that's how you expect that early half to go. Anti-eco is all they've got under their belt. An immediate idea from Crystal to pop the ultimate, closing the distance towards this A site. Target selection here, it's going down below. That's a perfect hit. Ragar's going to be caught. Let's listen into this chaos.
Can you plant? Get ready. Kill, get.
Omen TP somewhere.
Kill, can you plant?
Yeah.
Find you, kill.
He's fine. Not for long, guys.
Guys, listen.
Long and short plan. I can watch Heaven on camera, okay?
Yeah. I vote you guys.
I have Heaven on cam. I have CT also. I have the stun. Cannot come out yet. Probably gonna save.
Yeah, they save.
Yeah, go take them.
They had money.
You don't pick, don't pick.
This is kind of exactly what I was talking about, isn't it? They get the opener with that ultimate, they get into the post plant. Now, I will say, this time they actually went into the heavier stack site, but because 2 players were isolated out and it was only 1 player in, there was no chance for breaking that ult. I also there's one small detail that I really like.
لو في شيء لو تابعت البث مثلا سورس كذا لو تابعت بثي نص ساعة او بث اي احد يبث فالورنت اتوقع واتش بارتي عندهم اكسس يعطونك تايتل وفي البلاي اوفس اتوقع في دروب بعد مختلف اتوقع جن بادي او بانر بالغالب يسوون زي كذا هم اللي هو بعد بكره بيبدا ما ادري اذا بيسوون شيء في الفاينل ولا لا.
It's funny saying the guy's in the middle of the board right now, Crystal, but his impact in every map is
بعد الماتش ده يا عيال ترى مهم نشوف القرعة. أنا والله العظيم ما أبغى الماتش. معليش لا تزعلون مني. ليش أبو خالد ما تقعد تحاول تعطي تحل الماتش يا أخي؟ غابنين الفريقين بس يلا. قارت من القرعة والله غبنتني أقسم بالله معليش. يلا لكن هذا الموجود. غبنت النصين قبل بعض وبسيفك بعض وأوروبا بعض قهر. شوف ودعني انرجي وكان بالامكان انرجي تعال ما عفت.
When you get to tier 1 it goes down to 1 and that meant they had to make a choice between him and Raga.
I must wait a moment.
They chose Raga. So now he has the chance to send them packing himself, send the players, send the org that didn't decide to keep him, and what happy way under serious pressure here, but he is going to survive.
One of the 2 rifles for XLG, but they've pushed him off the site. He'll be ready for the retake, although sporting a few scars from that earlier battle. And here we go. Wall broken. Drone going in. Flank going to be attempted as well by No Man. Updraft used already to get over the trip. This is dangerous. Everybody from G is focused on the site. They have no idea that No Man's here. He updrafted just as they stepped out of range. But now there's a smoke down on long. He can't fight through that. And so the fight on backside is... It's completely easy for GE. Everything going their way until it's down to and Crystal bails them out again. 40 HP. That flank had the potential to change the game, but they got just enough done before he arrived.
Give me the Crystal replay right now. Give me what he was doing in that moment. Oh, if I saw that across the stage, I'd be so mad. I do like the adaptation from GE. I think they started to realize that they were completely trapped. Thank you for that replay. My man is having a great time and climbing up that board. 11 to 8. This attack side has started to run away like the first half, but it hasn't stopped. That's the difference. Being their map choice expectation was that it would go in the direction of GE, but it didn't look that way. Okay, TP from Patman caught. Raga's gonna immediately just send his ult through, caught by the stun.
Nice.
Made sure that didn't go any further.
Again, it feels like every round Crystal has that high impact. Lysor, what a shot! And he almost corrected as well.
والله بغى يشيل اثنين والله.
GE find themselves a man down, facing into the operator. It's only going to get worse, and now Blade Storm's activated.
No man
is not losing this round. Not if he has anything to say about it. Leo, it's easy, as can be. 37 health on Javi. Managed to avoid the spray from Leo, but the shot from No Man's a different story. 11 for GE, but now 9 for XLG. The gap is closing slowly.
Yeah, not too far behind, and a faster pace attempt in that round initially from GE. It felt like when that didn't go to plan, the backup plan was just to try and retreat back into the B site, and it looked like
صراحة
XLG
الكلام
from
أهم
start to
شيء
finish
والله.
were well aware, especially after the run it
بس
back.
يختلف البنك برضو له دور يعني ما
You
يصلح.
cleared out a lot of that space.
البنك أنا أشوفه أهم من الكلام. تبي الصراحة هذه نقطة. إنك تقول لي أنا بلعب بنك 5 بس ما يمديني أسولف معهم ولا شيء، بس أبلعب بنك 100 بس أقدر أسولف معهم. بنك 100 شين 50 وتحت مقبول إذا بتضحي ببنك 5 50 40، لكن فوق ال60 مهلك في اللعب والله.
Two players spotted. XLG no.
البنك برضو مهم.
Sova was close as well, but they're not ready for Uniton to just walk in.
What?
لا 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 130 شو تسوي 130 130 نبغى بك. خلك في ربك اكثر. تجي عندي 130 المعلومة ما توصل لك، خلي اللعب.
Good stun too. Lysor dodges it, and well,
there was no follow-up.
I'm not sure what the idea was there, but well, styling on him hasn't worked out. The flank has though.
Yeah, no, a great round from Uniton. I will say the fact that it seemed like he also knew
60 ممتاز والله ما 60 يمشي يعني تطلق يوصل. يا اخي غريبة، مع ان انا قد جاني مرة قد لعبت في مومباي والله مومباي يجينا بنج مومباي يكون بنجي 55 57 58 يوصل 60، بس ما بين 54 ل 60 مهلك. كشخص يلعب على بنك 4-3-2 بالرياض والله يفرق، والله الطلقة متأخرة والله، فبالك باللي بنقه دبل 90 وفوق 100 وفوق يفرق. في ألعاب تضحي، بس في ألعاب الأجزاء من الثلاث تفرق صعب.
Oh no, the barrel pointing through for Autumn. He's been sold down the river. That's at least going to be the man advantage for XLG in a crucial round. Ult used by GE. They get space. They find the C site. But XLG are waiting as well. They still have a camera for when they go for the retake. What they won't have is Rarga.
Eventually. Happyway's not in a bad position, but it definitely seems like they know there could be a player here. Even still, though, Leo's done well. Trade back as well, putting it into a more advantageous position. A singular kill will get Harvey his ult, but they are being flanked again. Of course, all of that scythe utility is gone. Well, so is Uniton as well. Harvey needs a clutch for the ages, but he's already managed to. He's being revealed and flanked, but the fight in front's a little bit ahead. Also gets the walls, but finally No Man strikes from the back. That 1v4 shouldn't have even been close. Well, you know,
hey شباب، في ناس اللي يتعودون على البنك. واحد تعود على بنك 5 طول يلعب سنين، مثلا بنك 10 11 5، فجأة تروح تعود يلعب بنك 50 60 والله يفرق معه. لكن إذا أنت تعودت على بنك 60 50 40 70 80 وتلعب يوروب، خلاص تتعود على ذا البنك، ما في مشكلة، يمشي الحال. بس أنت اللي تعودت على البنك 80 70، هذا اللي تعود يلعب سنين على البنك ومشي أموره واصل رانك معين، خليه يلعب على بنك 5 ولا بنك 1 ولا بنك 10. اقسم بالله بيقول يا ولد ايش القرف اللي انا كنت فيه. بيكره انه لعب على بنك لو، بيقول ليتني ما جربت اصلا، الا لو يضمن انه بيقعد خلاص ما عاد مغير.
Nasty, he's just been wall banged through that wall on long down to 55, but he's going to be able to one shot hit anybody except for
هذاك تعودت خلاص خلك. مو مش مستحيل، بس ما انت في كامل ادائك. البنك قاعد يحدك. تخيل اذا انت وصلت رانك معين في بنك معين، البنك الشاشه الماوس باد كلها امور تحدك على ليميتس معين. مهما كافحت لو هذه الليميتس تقدر انك تتفاداها بتشوف الفروقات الاريحيه في اللعب.
There it was. They didn't quite manage to catch the kill.
It's only a matter of time before someone faces you to time. The spike making it back to the seaside. Here comes the peak off the back of the Hunter's Fury. They're trying to force players out of position, and they've done that. But Crystal was the one to fall. A nice shot by No Man, and that's immediately got G to cancel this push and look elsewhere.
صراحة لازم يكون
Well, that's an all.
لازم يكون رجع. حرام عليه راح.
Not fully pushed up short. That's good information from Leo to have, I suppose.
20 seconds left. Time ticking down. Braga in position, but he's lost his teammate. Now he's the only one remaining on this site, but he gets support from above. Shutting it down at least for now. 10 seconds for the remaining players of G to get in, and they find both kills. No Man, he maybe just needs to survive. In fact, he doesn't get away.
قطع من وجهك
Close their map choice just about and go in with a lead for the second.
A 13-10. Well, it was a close matchup in the end.
يلا سلم ونسوي نفعل. ابو خالد بالله عليك رتب الرولات من الاسهل للاصعب، من الاسهل للاصعب. سنتينل، دولست، انيشيتر، سموك. يلا بنسلم ونعطيكم اعلان. اعلان جاكم وبنعطيكم تصويت المحتوى.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. It all started when I got to the FIFA World Cup.
يلا فتحنا التصويت.
Wow, thousands of Verizon customers.
Oh, you got the free Verizon tickets too?
انا 71 ثابت بس لما العب ضد 20 وتحت معانا مره
Okay. And even
معانا مره اقدر انافس بس لهم افضليه السلطه. شوف.
This used to be for players. Now
Smoke
it's for Verizon customers. No one gets you closer. Only on Verizon.
لا انا اتكلم انا ما اتكلم عن يوتل يا اخي. انتم مشكلتكم ما انتم فاهمين. لما اتكلم عن الرول اتكلم عن امور اساسيه في الرول، ماني قاعد اتكلم شخصيه سهله شخصيه صعبه في الرول نفسه. يعني لما قلت سكند بعدين نيشيتر، هل لما اقول النيشيتر انه اصعب من الدولست ويجيك واحد يقول طيب يعني انت كذا تقول ان جيكو اصعب من نيون ولا من طبعا لا. انا اتكلم عن الرول. واحد يبغى يحترف رول سموك، مو واحد بس يلعب لي شخصيه واحده في ذا الرول. فاهم قصدي اللي بوصل لك ايش؟ لما نتكلم عن صعوبه الرول، اساسيات امور اساسيه في الرول هذا. مو يجيك واحد غبي ما يلعب الا كلوف بس سموك ولا يعرف يسمك ولا يعرف يسوي شيء واساسياته غلط لانه ما يلعب الا شخصيه واحده. اوكي انا شلبي العب جميع الرولات واساسياتي في الدولست ما هي كلها صح. لما العب دولست العب شخصيتين دولست اسوي حاجتين. الامور الثانيه اللي يسوونها مين دولست انا يلا اسويها يلا، مو رولي الاساسي لكن اغطي في بعض الامور. فهمتوا؟ هنا الفكره لما اقول سموك اصعب بعدين نيشيتر بعدين الدولست بعدين السنتينل. ليش السنتينل انا مسهل؟ لان السنتينل رول مريح للشخص، ما له حال التيم. في الغالب بيكون الحاله في الغالب في الديفند وفي الاتاك في الغالب يجون مع التيم في امور. بس انك تتمكن من رول السنتينل اسهل من انك تتمكن من اي رول ثاني. يجي بعد الدولست انك تتمكن منه، لان الحمل على الرول كل ما سهل كل ما تمكنت منه اكثر. الامور اللي تسويها علشان تكون محترف في ذا الرول وهكذا. فهمت الفكره؟ فانك تجيب واحد كويس رول سموك انه يحترف الرول هذا ويكون فليكس في الشخصيات اللي في الرول، اكثر رول متعب، اكثر رول له اهميه، اكثر رول صعوبه، اكثر رول يفرق فيه التايمينج، استعمال السموك واستعمال اليوتل، التمركز. رول يناسب الاي جي ال رول اكثر، رول يقلب موازين. لان اللعبه اهم مصطلح في اللعبه او اهم يوتل في اللعبه موجود في ذا الرول اللي هو البلاك فيجن او حجب الرؤيه. فهمت؟ فعشان كذا الصعوبات تختلف. فهمتوا علي؟ فانك تتمكن من ذا الرول، وانك قادر انك تصير فليكس ما بين شخصيات اجريسيف مثل كلوف واومن، وما بين شخصيات مثل آسترا، بريم، هاربر، وشخصية الستايل حقها مثل السنتينل والسموك مثل فايبر، وبرضو الكلام آسترا، وانك تكون قادر على انك تكون فليكس وتعطي الرول حقه وتكون فكر سموك صحيح. هذا اصعب رول من الاخر. يجي بعد الانيشيتر، يجي بعد الدولست، يجي بعدها. مع ان انا اشوف الجاب ما بين السنتينل والدولست مو مره، ترى اشوفهم قريبين من بعض مره، بس انا قلت سنتينل بعدين دولست لان صراحه الحمل على الدولست اكثر من السنتينل فقط، لانه يواجه اكثر من السنتينل بس، ولا ما بينهم ذاك الاختلاف الشاسع في الخبره او التعلم. ايش افضل نصيحه للسنتينل؟ انك تعتمد على نفسك بشكل كبير، ما تعتمد على التيم دائما، انك تكون قادر انك تعتمد على نفسك وتعرف كيف تتمركز. اذا انت ما تعرف تتمركز، ما عندك وعي التمركز، صدقني ما يصلح لك ذا الرول. اهم حاجه في السنتينل التمركز، لان التمركز بيجيب لك التايمينج، بيجيب لك الوقت اللي تحتاجه في اللرك، بيجيب لك الستاند الكويس على السيت اب حقك في الديفند، وهكذا. انك تكون متغير، ما تنقرا في الديفند برضه. البوزيشن في الديفند مره اي، مره بي، مره سي، مره اي، مره بي، مره سي، مره ستب اي، روح سي، مره العب عليهم. بوزيشن باختصار، تحرك وانت تتمركز. وفي الاتاك نفس الكلام، بوزيشن. لكن السؤال ايش الرول المهم للسموك؟ كيف يستعمل يوتل، كيف يتمركز، التايم، كيف يكون ذكي، يكون منتبه للميني ماب، كيف يلعب في السموكات، كيف يفيد السموكات، كيف يكون قادر انه يغير السموكات. واخر نصيحة، انه يقدر يحرك التيم ويكون ايجل، لكن هذا مو بشرط اساسي، ممكن يكون ذا كان انيشيتر برضه. اصعب شخصية في السنتينل يا حبيب يا حبيب يا حبيب يا حبيب حاليا، او سنتينل صعب، اصعب سنتينل شوف سايفر، ما في سنتينل صعب. كل جوي يوتلا هو اللي يلعب عنها. مين سيجدد لك ما عندهم شيء، تشامبر ما عنده شيء، مين فيتو ما عنده شيء، ما سنتينل ما في يوتل، ما في الا سايفر. فايس لا وشو فايس ايش والو، خلاص سايفر نيدز بيرفكت سيت اب فور ذا تريب والكيج حقه. الباقيين وش عندهم تو ثينك؟ ايش اني كيف احط الفلاش حق فايس، ولا كيف احط التيرت حق كل جوي؟ يا رجل، ولا سيج كيف تحط والها، ولا ديدلوك كيف ارمي الوال يدي تعورني. لا سايفر. سنتينل كلهم رول سهلين، ما في شخصية صعبة في السنتينل، ما في شخصية صعبة، لكن أصعبهم سايفر. وسايفر مثل سوفا كانيشيتر، يبغى له تعود، مش يعني يبغى له حفظ، ما يبغى له كيف أفهمك؟ في شخصيات يبغى لك جيم سنس فيهم، بأنك تكون في أي سيناريو تنحط قادر، فهمت؟ انك تستعمل يوتل بذا المكان مثلا مثل كايو. لكن سوفا حفظ، عرفت يعني، حفظ اللينبات والوزنيه. احيانا في سوفا تنحط صراحه في اوقات انك مثلا ترمي الشك من هنا ولا الريفيل من هنا نكبت، اوكي هذا معك صح. لكن سايفر وسوفا مشابهين لفكره انه علشان تكون متمكن ومفيد فيهم، يكون مثلا في سوفا عندك لاينبات، وسايفر عندك ليش اسمه، انك تكون يعني عارف سيتبات تعود عليها، فشغلات كشي بين سوفا وسايفر كاستم. لكن الشخصيات مثل الثانيين اللي الجوكر في اللعب، اللي تلحقهم كيف اقول لك، ما هو ثابت استعماله، لازم تكون انت على درايه بوزنيته، في لحظه بتستعمله، مثل كيو، مثل سكاي، فهمت علي؟ مثل بريتش، يعني مع انه سهل بس شيء السريع وهكذا.
To qualifying to playoffs. Let's see if XLG can bring it back as we send it back to our casters.
Thank you, Victoria. XLG certainly putting on a better face when it comes to Haven, and now they come to a map where, well, we've seen them challenge NRG not too long ago. They didn't win it, but it was a very close affair. I think my hopes are definitely high that we can get a third map out of this one.
Yeah, I definitely expect it. G are trying to choose a Paper X comp to beat a comp that they were running. And I've learned in life trying to copy Paper X is a gamble and a half. We'll see if it works out for them. Through the smoke they go, and what Happyway has just met almost the entirety of the opposing team. One player has just been stuck behind the wall, by the way, all the way back towards the spawn, and they are still looking to fight even further forward. Lysor is waiting. And now that he's seen the aggression, that's where GE decide to go back.
Well, GE
يلا
are now looking
XLG
to fight it more.
يلعبون
But
3
that
سنتينل.
net could be
سيفر
huge. They've
ضدك
got
شيء
so
اوكي.
many. XLG
متخلفين
should
نفس
walk out of
التشكيلة.
here with a lot of kills. And in fact, they very much do. A
رجعنا.
1-0 start for the
طيب
defensive
يلي.
side. And again, this
يا
is where
رب.
they were putting on a very good show up against NRG on the defense. So starting out
طيب
with a pistol,
ايش
definitely a good
يلعبون
sign.
جلوبال؟
Yeah, for sure. Like you
Vice
go back
Race.
to even before playing against
Vice
NRG and
Race, Omen.
regionally once they started
Sky
playing this
ولا
comp,
فيد؟
I think it was 3 different appearances. They lost 9 rounds.
سكاي تو دولست اوكي.
So I think it was a 13-2, a 13-0, a 13-7. So this is a composition that teams in China at least will have been trying to beat and failing. And sure,
بدي ألعب initiator
GE
كمان.
obviously will have come in and they know their scrim partner, they
كمل
know
ايوه
the comp, they
كمل.
know
فيد
what's coming.
كويس، فيد او بي ذا الحين مره.
Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have the ability to beat it. Already though.
بس اذا ما عندك لاين اب عليها
Spectre buy.
وهي شخصيه تيم بلاي
Means
يعني
that
if you're
I'd say
low
at least
rank
on the A side there's some vulnerabilities in this.
إذا تلعب
weapon
سولو ما
range,
أنصحك.
but
إذا
on the
تلعب مع
rest of
أحد
the
حتى
map
لو
on
rank
B and C,
أوكي.
you can play a lot of close angles, and of course in this round they're not up against much.
Well, yeah, those Spectres are going to shred anybody that they come up against.
يلا
As long as they can get those first shots off. Nice paranoia. There's not going to be much a chance for Yuditon to even make it out alive. That said, he survives a little longer, gets traded out on. Not bad damage if they can get a few more. That looks questionable. Okay, Javi's done well.
Whoa!
Oh, Javi's done very well. He was caught there by the net, and Crystal now has a chance. Still just a classic to work with, and no man will get him in the end. But you know, Tom, when you come in with 5 Spectres, you don't want to be getting out with just 2.
Yeah, no, you kind of expect that to almost
ولا يطلع
come home as
تعليقك
a
بس عرفت اللي
relatively
في اسئله
clean
واجد
round
سالته
when
وقاعد
it
احاول
was
ارد عليه
just
اقدر عليه.
but it was
شكرا
just
لكم اللي
Harvey
سويتوا
at the
فولو
back
يا
of the
عيال.
side that made that one
ما اعرف انا في
incredibly
الماوسات
costly.
والماوس باد، اقدر اشارك الاشياء اللي انا مريت فيها وجربتها فهمت؟ يعني انا جربت 3 ماوسات.
The bounds of utility
جي شو اسمه ذاك
that are available for XLG.
الجي برو اتوقع هو ذاك المعروف.
Something that does excite me is
وفاينل ماوس
I think over the last couple of days
وماوسين
that has
زياده
been
نسيت
where
اساميهم.
he truly
افضل ماوس ريزر ماوس ثاني.
already
تجربتي افضل ماوس جربته فاينل. تصويت قفلنا.
And in fact Lysor has been able to bring this back.
يعطيكم العافيه اللي سويته.
So I was going to say an even scenario, but eventually
قفلنا.
Pac-Man caught him.
Yeah, with 2
قفلنا.
pistols left to try to take these
قفلنا يا
fights.
رافعه. قفلنا يا رافعه.
XLG
قفلنا يا قلبي. قفلنا يا قفلنا. قفلنا. قفل وجهك اصبر.
And a lot of utility sat on the B site, albeit without no man. 2 of those sensors won't do anything.
خلاص رجعتك.
All they have to worry about is the A site. All they have to worry about is Leo taking a fight. But tucked in this corner, there is the... No, they're going to check it. Of course they are. Autumn first around the corner, nicely done. And now plant the 3v1.
لا تسبب. سبام ينرفزني جدا. اللي يسبب ينرفز.
It now comes down
حتى
to
لو ما
damage,
أحد.
and if he continues on this
تنرفز.
trajectory, they're going to get the information very early that he could be
يبغى ياخذ
from
الأرض.
behind. That's the problem. There is still the wall in play, and there you go with it being tripped
ما اقدر يا اخي.
immediately.
حتى انا ما اقدر اني ما اعطيك تايم اوت.
I know that they can take
خلاص
towards
خلينا
the
نكمل
spawn.
نبدأ
Just
نسلك.
look at
Let's go.
Crystal. He's already walked all the way back around. And is just watching in case he comes back through B. The rest of the players can just hold on to the cross. It becomes incredibly difficult. Now, the one good thing for Happy Way is he's found a rifle. has enough to buy into the next round, but also he can start to question, do
ما
I
تحس
just want
الشايب
to
هذا
hold on to this gun
overrated.
instead?
الله أكبر. overrated.
Exits would be very valuable for him,
نقيم
but
حنا
stepping into
شخصية
Crystal's
أكيد
angle
ولا
has
شاهي.
one outcome.
عموما الشاي ما
outcome only.
overrated. overrated يعني إيش؟ overrated.
Again, this is the early half we
overrated
expect.
يعني
You win the pistol, you win the follow-up back to
تطبيل.
eco, and now you come into this,
إيش
the
يعني؟
bonus, and lose it.
منفوخ والله جبهة كل منفوخة. شغال بالملوك هذا يا.
defensive side for XLG. We know that in bottom rounds when the footing is even,
ريح بس ريح.
they have a very good chance after what we saw up against NRG. So this
إيه
round,
وصلوه للقهوة.
where I expect
إيش
to
اللي
see
وصلوه
that
للقهوة؟
turnaround.
وش
They should
القهوة
get away on
أصلا؟
the
يا
A side. They're gonna try some
رجال.
aggression. Rarga's gonna put that slow down.
شاي
stopping
number
taking
one.
space, but with a dash online, Autumn can still make it across. In fact, the blast pack's got Uditon there. The TP got Patman in. They are committing to this fight on GE's side. There's a lot more bodies than they might expect here, though.
This is the
تابع الجيم.
benefit of this comp, and already Uditon walking into angles has managed to find a couple. In fact, that's his third of the round already.
جيد بس ما يوصل قهوة. إيش القهوة؟ فرنش لاتيه دبل بمب ترك سنايبر فلاش اكسترا كراميل. هذه قهوتك تقصدها اللي ما يوصل لها.
Just waiting. They're almost just trying to bait. They're making sounds while not giving
القهوة
anything away, like
العربية.
maybe trying to get him to keep looking. While
هذه
Crystal
القهوة.
maybe just a little bit early on that one.
ما يوصل لها هذا
They
موضوع
can
عرب.
now just
اللي
rotate back
يفضل
in the
قهوة
other
اللي يفضل
direction.
الشاي. لكن تقول عنها مو
Rarga
قهوة.
given slightly more of an opportunity. Actually,
قهوة
that's
من
red.
بلاك كافي.
Yeah,
اوكي.
but look who's waiting around.
قهوة
Crystal
عربية.
hasn't
اوكي.
fled the scene. Instead, he's still waiting on
أي
the A
قهوة.
side.
اي شيء ثاني يسمون قهوة فلسفة.
Will find himself to close
نفس
to
لما
the
يجي واحد
round.
يقول لك
The
شاهي
second for
بس
GE in
الايس
the
تي
lead, no
ليمون
longer in XLG's hands.
with لو
Solid round from
هذا مو شاي.
Uditon as well.
Oh yeah.
شاي مويه
By
شاي.
isolation.
سكر وسط
Some of
سكر
that
خفيف
individual
كيفك.
brilliance that
هذا
we
الشاي. حتى انا
saw
حبق
especially in the
مشيت.
series versus Leviathan.
القهوة ايش
That is an early
كم
pause.
يا
Lose two
منذر.
rounds and immediately
بسأل سؤال
gonna be
بس ما
seeing a
تحسس منه.
pause called by
صدق
XLG.
قول والله ما تحسس. كم عمرك؟
That is definitely a
وماني
surprise.
قاعد
Of course,
أقولها
we
إنه
know
من
that
باب
this defense can be their
إنقاص أو شيء. لا
coin-based
والله.
win condition.
بس كم عمرك؟ 27 عام والقهوة العربية ما يقدرها وشيء ما يقدرها ويقدر الكافيات.
Is that elevation that you can take? Like even if you go in towards the seaside
حالة
and maybe you have the
استثنائية.
sage wall, you have a load of stuff blocking you.
بس إنه
3 of the players can get through in some manner. 2 a little bit more easier than the rest. And I think that's why this kind of works because you're basically going, what is the crux of this composition that is irritating? It's the fact that we can't take
أبو خالد أنت
space.
أكبر واحد لا تخاف ما في هذا. أنا أبو
Let's
محمد
go
أكبر
into
مني لو
agents that
سمحت.
can take that space.
مو
At a
بنت
risk,
أبو
a
حمد.
pretty big risk at
أبو محمد
times.
مين؟
But if you believe that you can win those
أبو
individual
خالد
fights, which I
سؤالي
think if you
خليك
look
تفكر
at
في البطولة
Uditon,
شوفه
the way he played
اللي
that
هو
round, he definitely believes he can.
ثلاثة
This now
لاعبين من
becomes
الستيج
a bit of a
تراهن
counter to
عليهم
what they're throwing out, and maybe that's
في
enough.
البلاي اوفس
But
وثلاث لاعبين
avoid
في
to go,
البلاي اوفس
okay,
تراهن عليهم.
We need to
ثلاث
change
لاعبين
something now,
من
otherwise
الستيج
if this happens
تراهن
3
عليهم
or 4
في
more
البلاي
rounds,
اوفس.
we're already in a bad spot.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. Seeing that pause out early is unusual. You won't see it a lot. Usually it means the game plan from top to bottom is not working and something drastic.
ثلاثة لاعبين من الستيج. ايش تقصد ثلاث لاعبين من الستيج؟
XLG adjustments made hopefully, but this will not be the round that
ثلاثة شفناهم في السويس من الأيام اللي تأهلوا وثلاثة من اللي ما شفناهم. أراهن عليهم إن يبدعون.
Even if you can get one of those out of them, it could be a win. The Seekers, perhaps, most likely, or the Showstopper, but this should be an easy follow-up
ليفيتان
from GE and an opportunity to take the lead as they're up against just a couple of pistols. No shields across the board, making this weapon in Autumn's hand very, very dangerous indeed. But I like what XLG are doing, just sitting back.
يجي تي حق فوت سايفر.
For GE to step into them.
Okay, well, Seekers are going to go out. That makes all of those positions nowhere near as valuable. This is the thing. You might look at that and go, hey, they got an ult out of them, but when they have as many as they do, you almost want to cycle them a little bit. Having all 5 online is almost a waste at times, and if it makes a round like this cleaner, helps you build those credits up, that holds a lot more value for the side of global esports than just having all of those ults for the next round.
Yeah, as much as you'd love to have Seekers to go into a site with the Showstopper, you also have the Skydog. Should help out. Just to find that information to point the rocket in the right direction. Lysor, last alive, and look, if they didn't already hear the book earlier, they certainly know what they're up against now, seeing that smoke bloom. But for Lysor, we can see his chances of getting any kills are fairly low. Going down to the spike is his play, and well, even if he goes to one spawn, he'll dive into on who does have the showstopper already. So giving him an orb is not the end of the world. And a third round for GE.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing is, like, I was looking at Autumn, like, almost tempted to go into that smoke. It's like, no, you have ult. Everybody other than Patman has ult, who needs one orb. There really isn't any value in you fighting this anymore. Let him keep the Bucky if he wants to. And while in the end, Yudotan's position is enough. Lead taken by GE. But this really is looking like a swing round. 4 ultimates, well, almost online for both sides, but 4 already on the XLG side. Back up after the pause, which was where we saw the turnaround in the first half of the last map. And I wonder if they're going to maybe play a slightly more passive game, force their opponents to execute, but that's not quite as worrying when you have these ults online.
You're looking at No Man. Ability to get in there and just steal one of the other players.
كنت أقول something، كنت ودي أوقع 3 بي ار اكس بس خلاص خذيت 2 منهم، فهمت؟ فابراهيم على جوج مو يمكن يبدع. لا اسحب كلامي. لا صح، انت قلت لي 3 من ذوليك 3 من اوكي صح خلاص.
Less heavily defended. This is where the res is as well. So getting these picks early is going to make it much harder for XLG.
شنو كاس العالم غدا؟ وش تسوي كاس العالم غدا؟ وش تسوي؟ قل لي.
Is that while they're creeping up here, it's
خلص الواتش باغتي تابع كاس العالم اصل الفجر انام.
No man this way at least, but Leo is still standing by. 3 players on the A side. The fake on C better be good.
هلا محمد سلام.
There goes that showstopper, blinded up initially, but it hasn't slowed him down. He might not get it with the showstopper, but he has found it elsewhere. Raga's done well.
كيف ما مات؟
Res, of course, available, but getting in for it is not going to be possible. And just to make sure that space is confirmed, we are going to see utilization and actually just an aggressive peek out from Crystal. 1 player caught.
You will not kill my
Res used. And that puts the favor back for the defenders. Oh, the stun actually caught him. That was enough for a trade out. And now No Man brings it back into a 1 versus 1. I don't know if he's ever seen Autumn in this corner. He almost walked past him just moments ago. The spike not planted for him, and that's why he doesn't check that way. It is a back and forth of sorts of Res used.
اللي يجي من البث ان شاء الله ان احنا عاد
But it's GE still to come out on top.
Yeah, that's a really big blow to XLG. GE now sitting with a ton of credits. Outside of that, they've got the Blade Storm on Autumn, who I think is going to come in here with an Outlaw, and XLG put all their credits into that last one. They put ultimates into that last one. And even No Man showing up in a big way was not enough. XLG trailing by 2. The pause changed nothing. And GE have a chance to extend this even further. In fact, great net from No Man. I mean, they really didn't see that one coming. But for GE, this is their opportunity to push up to 5. And if it's clean, to build up an even bigger buffer of credits. XLG, it's sad, but in this round, they almost need to do damage.
Yeah, but then the other side of the coin is some of those ults that were expended in the last round can start to build back up. So either way, GE have got to be very happy. 4 rounds already versus what is normally.
طولوها الجيم الاول كان نار نهائي. راحت كل ما ب 3 وكلها 1 او تي
That missed shot on the stunned up player made all the difference in the last round. Harvey somehow able to save himself.
اي باتش اخير باتش ايش فالورانت.
Even still a bit
اللي نزل
from GE. They know how important this is. Of course, a team that the talking point is that they never make playoffs, and that's regional.
6-7.
We're talking about in Pacific now. They are a map away from making it elsewhere, and well, thankfully Autumn was well aware of the potential of a close position.
The updraft in a small room does sometimes make it hard to hit. You flick up a little bit too high. I'm not even sure that's needed, Patman. I mean, he loved going for the TP plays last map. This time you're up against an eco in a 5v3, and he's like, I'm going to go for the flank play, boys. Fair enough. He's got himself 2 kills for his trouble. Hopefully we don't see that backfire a little bit later on. The GE seem to be feeling confident, and the flawless round will certainly help.
Yeah, 5 rounds already. Normally you'd be looking at that and going, that doesn't feel like a death sentence, but 5 in a row versus a triple Senti defensive side comp.
اي الوانه حلوه تصميم حلو والله الماب.
A lot of the time if they get to start on this side, you don't really need the other side. They have shown stuff in the attack as well, but
وبايند كويس وايسنت كويس كتصميم والوان
كذا
كذا واضح. تلعبين بير ترقدين.
That early pause kind of sold it that they wanted to stem the bleeding.
واو سانست اللي يجيب لي كآبة. كأحسنها قبل المغرب بشوي.
Yeah, this has to be where they restore order to this defensive side. An operator in play for Rarga. And so far, you even think back to the last full buy they had, they looked so good on the retake on A. And so many pickups, no man was on a tear. And it wasn't enough. GE.
طيب اقرا الماتش الاخير، اقرا هذا الحين في الجيم لا ابنك. قلت طيب ايش كنسل ام الوقت وقتي وراح اقراه. خلني اخلص الزق واقرا. قلت لك طيب بقرا مصبر بقرا ابشر. فيك ما ترد على موضوع عرام. وش موضوع عرام؟ ما انتبهت. رسائلكم سريعه يا شباب لا الطمكم كلكم. ما سكب احد انا ترى والله. اقرا اللي اقدر اقراه. بشوف الجيم. احد يزقر وشني. بشوف الجيم. Let me focus.
Getting 2 picks from it. Still a sensor here, but all that's really going to do is give the game away. Leo's committed a little bit further.
Drop the spike, you win.
10 seconds left.
That's exactly what he's going to do. 8 seconds left. Patman, all he can really do is make this costly. A nice quick double. There's Leo at the end to close out the round. XLG will find themselves a third. Now we expect to see them build into this half of it.
على رام مين؟ ايوه ادري متحمس لها انا اصلا بلعبه في ستريم.
It's also before even the first shot is landed that he
متحمس له اللعنه من زمان انتظر اصلا. مين تشجع بينهم؟ اكيد ما ابغى XLG يتأهل. اكيد.
Those players were starting to rotate. Rarga was running away from the A side. He would have had a 1v1 on a player that had no idea he was there, but Leo was curious, and the Prowler got an early read on the play. Validated their concerns, and now a 3-5 scoreline. It's not pretty, but plenty of rounds left in this half to still shape up as a good one for the defense. Rarga's on the angle, and he will find that with ease. Even the wall to slow them down on the tree play.
Making sure he can't be surrounded allows him to lock in on the angle. There has been a TP across already, but and the slows put into play. He knows exactly how to play around his utility, and even has support. Although Noman does have to be a little bit careful. I definitely don't think he knows that Patman's already ahead of it. A chance maybe to just wrap around and find that kill, but there's the first, the second player behind the wall at least. Even still, that man advantage kept, and there's re-aggression coming out from Leo as well. Patman is just trying to do everything. Spots the player. Knows that he's there, but his teammates are all falling like flies. We're watching a man play a masterful game to bring around the Rosie, but unfortunately his teammates aren't alive to help him out. Still an advantage here for XLG.
They'll at least get the plans. 2v3, someone needs to step out of the way, and with the nightfall going in, it's going to be a difficult round. Shot landed on the Rarga, but he's still alive up top, not for long. Happy does well, the drop down not heard though. Here's a big swing from Happy Way, and he'll get there in the end. XLG, a 4th round locked in. And now we're starting to see this defensive side take shape.
It's very interesting because you go back and look at their games regionally. You'd think that maybe the 13-0 was 12 rounds on the defense. It was 12 rounds on the attack. But it's when they brought it here versus NRG where they struggle more on the attack. So it's obviously imperative that they still throw in that solid half. But for GE, clearly feeling like the attack, especially when you look at the composition they're running with the double duelist. Coinbase win condition feels like more of an attack-sided half needed. Even still, though, in the lead. And it did make me worry a little bit with how much Patman was able to get away with in the last round, but a man that has definitely had
زين يا ابو محمد انتظرني بس انت نيابه ها انتظرني خليك جاهز.
Regionally not being one of their major highlights over on the side of GE is Yudotan. When it comes to this event, he's been fantastic. In fact, especially I think back to the game of Fracture, where it was him, I believe, versus Sato, and it was that 1v1 operator fight that was going back and forward. We've seen a round like that in this map where he found 3 on the entry, but we haven't seen that same superstar just yet.
Oh, Rarga on XLG picking up that operator. Found them a lot of success in the previous round. Opening on A, slowed the play massively, got the rotates in. Was even traded out in the end. For XLG, they're now 1 round behind. Picking up some momentum. With a few rounds left to go, the lead could still be theirs at halftime. G's attack. Trying to avoid Rarga on A. They've walked into him on B, but this time they live to tell the tale.
But yeah, in fact, he was the one that took the majority of the damage. Immediate ult usage, not really a chance to respond. The nade almost finishing off Noman, but that will be hard. And he had the spike. Oh, that's really rough. That is a special delivery all the way to the seaside.
يعني الا تو جاب لهم السبايك.
They haven't noticed just yet that the TP can be taken.
هم اوف خميسي بكره ما في بث.
No one's hit tab to realize. Now they know. With the orb taken, that spike is not going to be there for long. It's stolen back, and GE walk into the A site wide open. For XLG, it's not a bad idea. Sure, they're going to concede a plant, and Lysor is very low. But the main thing is to avoid losing players in these early skirmishes. Play that retake together. And for now, at least, they've avoided any early flare from GE.
Yeah, but look at the ults. Showstopper for Yudotan could be a real spanner in the works. They'd love to have that Annihilation back online now. And he's just buying time. He's just holding it. He wants to try and deny them. It's a nice shot from Raga. The man who was tagged earlier on, but he's still able to survive. The knives also not getting anything just yet, but there we go. Already a pickup. Crystal also on the other side of this has found another res utilized. The up top position of Patman gets nothing, and now all that remains is Crystal versus the whole team. And Raga once again. Does he have enough time for the defuse or the rest of the team and run away? No! It seemed like they have it, but just a little bit too slow. The spike will act as a Red Bull clutch.
لا ابو عبد كلمت تواصلت معه وتواصل معي اجلنا هو مشغول عنده عنده شغله فبتكون بعد البطوله ان شاء الله بعد البطوله بنلعب سوا.
Less than a second
in it, but
a 6th round finds its way into their back pocket. Guaranteed neck and neck at the half.
It's the showstopper. Yeah, that was it. Just that he held it just for a little bit of time. Sometimes you'll look at that and go like, oh, maybe that's a Rosa ult, but not in this case.
For saying he popped it a bit early, earlier than I expected, but right on time. Very well done.
لا قبل امس.
Putting a lot of stops towards the C hit. They've got the right read, but they don't know just how right they are. Dog going through will keep them in position. Happy Way has very passive utility there, playing to punish GE when they take space. And I meant more so towards the C side after the plans, but
يا نت في الجبهة.
Okay.
Well, in both cases, very nice early fights.
The Spanish as well. That's where the Guardian really holds its value. A nice trade back from Crystal though. He does have his ultimate online again. Timing it correctly could remove
يا اخي فكوا من الزق اللي في يده ده.
And not in the way he'd hoped.
اوتوم تسويها.
Autumn in a 1v3. He could reposition through the B site. There's still a lot.
30 seconds left.
The wall now breaks and Braga already watching on that angle as well. Even making it on this cross is not going to be easy unless he can hit the shot immediately onto Leo, and he cannot. Braga already back in position once again, but is he just going to run through? Can he make it through before his opponent stops him? Door needs to be broken. 10 seconds, and he's even hit. I think that might have been through the wall.
Yeah, it was. He's left him down to 54. That's going to make this a damn sight easier to slow the paranoia even more so. And yeah, you're dead to rights.
الله
Really
يستحيل
nice
عنه
stuff
فوق.
from XLG now. We are seeing
الله يستر عليك لوري.
what looked like domination to start this out after the second round. XLG slow down. G start to run away with it convincingly so in some of the rounds. It might have been slow to get on the
سبحان
board,
الله
but
العصر
there's no denying
وقتها
them
واحد
now.
قال لك
One
صور
round
يوم
left in the
كامل
half.
بالاصفر.
And XLG
وقام
can
واحد
still
يطقطق
make
يقول
this
لك
an even
مسوي
one.
باور
Yeah,
وبعدها
it
جاك
is
ابو
starting
عابد
to
البث.
feel like Haven wants to
صدق ده اللي صار. اذكر موضوع الاصفر بس هذا كان بنفس اليوم قبل امس.
It's Rarga's off, man. It's just made such a
بالله
difference.
صدق.
It feels like every round he's either getting the information, but not being punished if he misses the shot, or in the vast majority, he's got them a man advantage, and then some. And you can't push him after because he's using his util to slow.
Yeah, it's the slow, the wall, whatever he can put into play. Last
ان
round
شاء
of
الله
the
نطلع
half.
لكم محتوى حلو
And
ان
it's
شاء الله
not
يا
the
رب.
prettiest
خلها
of GE
تتيسر.
either.
دعواتكم بس.
Stingers for the most
ان
part.
شاء الله نطلع
Of
بافكار.
course, they can still take the weaponry away with that steel garden. And the ultimate's not built up on the other side. Leo is trying to get himself a little bit closer, but unless
اللهم امين.
he is getting a multi-frag,
اللهم امين. الله يكتب لي فيه الخير. اللي كاتب ربي بيصير. اللي كاتب ربي بيصير.
Minute on the clock. And GE got a very to sit and wait. 28 shots. Yeah, we go to the classic eventually. Honestly, I think it would have.
لا لا تسألوني أسئلة ما أقدر أجاوب عنها والله ما أدري. ما صار شيء ترى الموضوع قدامكم أمس واضح حبي. واتفقنا نلعب بس ترى الموضوع هذا وما في شيء ثاني.
He has kept two players. Seeker's about to be used. See, they're trying to put Lysor in and now looking to remove the weaponry, but obviously it does take a second or two. Lysor's just going to have to run out of there, and I like the Thorns. The Thorns forced him to take a lot of damage.
والله حلفت بالله MVP. من حلف بالله فصدق وبحلف كذب.
Shield stripped, but he's going to go and at least get that heal back from Rarga. Again, we've seen this net before. This time, Yutan very close. He will be caught, but not before he gets one. Not a bad trade for the weaker weapons in this round. Still two rifles to work with. Patman gets tagged, doesn't even get the heal there. Steps into the smoke a little too early, and Rarga shuts him down as well with the recovered rifle.
close range
He's not seen the angle, but now he has.
طب خذ القن بسرعة.
Himself away to hopefully have that cover from Crystal, but the smoke up has blocked him out. He's got to be quick. They could be defusing for all he knows, but they've given the game away now. Still, no angle on the diffuser, and finally he will strike. The patience from Crystal, a flash still to work with, sees them defusing. He's got to swing in, and he
يسعد لي جوك يا بطل. إيه 7-5.
for the Red Bull clutch.
What a round coming out from Crystal. His teammates bought him the time for a mass wraparound all the way through on that flank. And just impressive stuff individually to not uprun at the end when you know that they could have been defusing, utilize that flash as well. That is just an intelligent player in the clutch.
المعدل ترى في تحت عندي هنا يا رجل
Two-round lead for GE who are already up
تحت أسفل الظهر
This
عرفتها
is
في زي هذا.
definitely looking like XLG are in
يعني
trouble.
أنا أجلس كذا لكن فهمت قصدك تبغى كذا.
They found enough
قولوا لي
towards the
شباب ما عليه.
end. The second half
أتحمس شوي
isn't
مع
exactly terrifying. For GE fans though, this is exactly the kind of performance that they wanted to see. And certainly someone in the crowd.
Even Autumn and Lysor have a connection with FPX, but only one of them can go marching on, as they eliminated two other teams from their respective leagues. Only one of them makes it into the playoffs, and for GE, they are going to hope to try and do it in two. But for XLG, regionally, that attack side was strong. But I do think they're going to want to get a pistol.
No man's got to be careful. He's got the spike right now, and the flank coming in. It looks like the timing could be good to catch him. He's rounded the corner just in time. Instead, it's Leo. He's really thrown to the wolves there. XLG lose themselves their fade. They'll get the A side for this. Oh, maybe they won't. The wall's blocked out the spike. Again, no man is isolated, is trapped, and he'll make it back to his buddies.
Yeah, there's been a few moments already that could have made this round incredibly spicy. Instead, it's Leo sacrificed a post plant, which is normally where this composition becomes so tough to break through. The wall already in position. And a flank already spotted. It may be a man advantage, but there aren't a massive amount of advantages for GE here.
No, this can very easily flip-flop in the other direction.
Whoa!
It's got three! Lysor tucked in the corner. And a lot more than he bargained for coming his way.
عجل لي
What a round from
يا
Utah.
رب 2-0 يلا نبغى القرعة يا رجل.
That's just nightmare fuel for XLG. You want that boost into the half and a guy runs around the corner. Multiple people trying to face him off tap and he just absolutely destroys them. Quick enough to correct, but also a little bit disjointed from the other side, not quite able to find those trades. Gives GE that little bit of a boost, and as I said, that is the last thing XLG wanted on their map choice, a map that regionally has been flawless over the last few months. There would be back-to-back defeats on it if they're unable to make a recovery. But fact is, recovery is not expected in this round.
They had the net land to start this out, but no one followed up, and then Crystal now surrounded, finds himself in a bit more trouble. Or Patman, excuse me. Crystal from further back, firing in those shots and making it out, and buying a little bit of time. But XLG aren't looking to change the direction, at least from what we're seeing. A Skydog might change their mind. They know now rotates have happened. They know the C site's a little better defended. But you're either going to rotate into space that you've given up, or you're going to pump the brakes and just hope that GE start second-guessing themselves.
They're going to try and just walk it. Flash is going to let them know, but Nomad's managed to win the fight. Crystal here, but the jump across is fantastic. They're playing this one well as a team, but they still have to deal with again. Back-to-back triples at a minimum. And he's now waiting for his teammate to come in behind. Happaway still with a rifle, expecting something. I like the angle he's taking, but unfortunately left a little bit open. Another Yudotarm round.
اتوقع أليكس بيختار فيتاليتي يسويها. طب ايش المغزى انه يختار فيتاليتي من بدري؟ لا.
The panic version of me was thinking, well, we have the showstopper. Maybe you just throw it in to win the round. But I think that was the backup plan here. Let Autumn go. Let him find the pick. If he dies, then maybe we throw that showstopper in. But it
هو قال والله.
GE find themselves in 9.
يسوونها ويخلونها حماس من البداية. ما استغرب ليركس
Certainly
يسويها.
anything but with the way that panned out. XLG now come in with a full buy themselves. Losing this, the chances of making playoffs,
بس أحس إنه بياخذ فوت.
they take a plummet real quick.
أوكي إذا بيختار فيتاليتي كويس ما اختلفنا. إذا هو صرح.
Rifle handed over to Harvey. Yudotan is just going to be playing
بس من اللي بياخذ
this
فوت؟
round, waiting for someone to make contact.
اي دي جي دائما يختارون الأمريكان. فبياخذ ايش؟ بياخذ ليفتان.
They'll be put into play.
EDG.
It really is, as bonuses go, a weak one. More pistols than purchase weaponry, and for XLG this is
G2 يمكن ياخذ
like the
فوت.
moment to
وذلك فيتاليتي
build back into this
يصفى
game.
هذول مع
They've
مين؟
got heavy shields on every single player. They know what they're up against. There goes the showstopper. There goes the
صدق ده أقرب
freebie.
سيناريو ممكن
And a
يصير
weapon that
اللي
can be
احنا
picked up by
نتكلم عنه.
Yudotan.
وهذا أحلى شيء أحس الصراحة.
Not only for the weapon.
أهم شيء فيتاليتي يا يلعب ضد بي ار اكس يا يلعب ضد
The decision is towards the C site. Wall gone in. They can make it onto Crystal site a little bit quicker than he's expecting. Nice shot, but the wall got in the way. XLG keep
اطلب لي عشاء. الله
the
يسلمك.
plant coming through. You got to be wary of the spams, but
لا من الجوعان.
that's not a commonly spammed angle.
كليت معكم.
Leo almost got a haircut.
بس متى كليت ساكو؟
This is still where things get so much
على
tougher
المغرب.
for GE.
قبل المغرب.
The post plant versus what is now a double senti. Still incredibly difficult.
الجح شوي.
Yudotan is taking that initial space, but it's Raga to find the kill. No man with another, and in fact, he doesn't even realise he gets the third. Double tap
ما
through
أتوقع
the
فيه
smoke.
محمد لا.
And what started out a little bit shaky from the showstopper,
يا ليل دي
four
الحركة حقته.
players staying alive for XLG. That is a good way to break back.
Guys, could definitely be a revival for XLG if they can have a bit of a streak early on. That round is one they're expected to win, but that's what makes me feel a little bit better about XLG's chances. The vibe check over that side of the stage looking good. All smiles, all standing. Might be about to wipe that smile off their face. He's inside the smoke with the off. He's making it out. At least it seemed like he was. Crystal gets shot in his place, and Autumn follows him to the spectator screen. That's one hell of a start for XLG, and Yeah, I think he's
يلا دورني ذا الحين يا البوست الملعون جدا.
This is the problem. Like, you're running that double duel.
دورني روح سير
Up
بس
against,
انا راح
as
دورت
said, a
النية واجي بعد.
composition that in the post plant is almost impossible. Just look at the utility on the map right now. There's a wall holding onto the cross. They've already put a sensor in the spawn, a second wall to block off with the barrier. There's no way back into the site as it is. So what you're going to see from GE is these aggressive starts. Like, we want to deny them having all of those players in the post plant. We want to deny them getting into the post plant in the first place. The problem is you get wrecked like that and you have no choice. There is no way that they're getting back in.
It does just look like a rare mistake from Crystal to step in. Gets unlucky that he spammed down, but of course it's an angle they're spamming when Autumn had been caught out the way that he did. Autumn overstaying his welcome in the smoke. Crystal going down ahead of his utility. What else can you do but save? I can tell you what else. You can throw your weapons away. You have two choices. One of them much better than the other. And a great net at the end.
just full trolling. He's having a good time.
Oh, why not?
Captain 3K got it in the last round, but now we look again to see if there's any sort of response. Of course, the problem for GE is that you get into that first proper buy round.
Timeout.
Seems like they're going to at least try and challenge, but a little bit of early control. Harvey with an off angle. One that should be expected. That cam, I don't believe, has given things away already, the utilization of the annihilation. As Crystal's gone, and, well, Harvey tries to react. Yudatan has been a man of many moments. This would have to be one of the best of them. The full squad running down on him, and he had no support. Well, they left Patman as the sole defender of the other side of the map, and he is only just making it over here.
Last player standing.
Yeah, some credit's not in the best of positions. With Autumn being the last alive, maybe picking that rifle. Getting out could be the right play. Getting some damage in on top of it. For now, at least, he's just sat down in the spawn waiting, expecting someone to come pushing.
With the problem as well is a lot of what you can see with this XLG comp, and it's what I have seen when other teams have tried to run it, is a lot of the time you can need an ult to get you that entry. Like, I think we witnessed it in this round. The annihilation takes a player away, pulls someone in, and it gives you an opener, and you can then react off that. And you see people try and react to that ultimate. So to be honest, the worst thing that Autumn can do is run in and give them an ultimate orb. You don't want them to have a nightfall. You don't want them to have a res, because then you can sacrifice someone and then they come right back again. So it's kind of an awkward spot where, yeah, the best thing I can do is die to the spike.
Rarga's definitely having a much better time as well in terms of impact. Even here, all that utility, you had the Sky Flash, you had the nade go through on A main, he just walked past it. And him walking past it meant they were much quicker to actually fill in the space, because he was telling them, yeah, they naded, yeah, they flashed, but no one stepped forward. And if no one stepped forward, they're either playing passive or they've rotated and left this as a light side of the map. Early chance here for Autumn. Operator will be bought up. Odin in play for Crystal, playing towards the doors on A. XLG have shifted their focus to this C site. They're looking at this operator who's not got a very favorable angle with that smoke in the way, and the shot won't land for him either. But even just hearing that op seems to have made XLG reconsider.
Oh yeah, if you were going to run anything that you might have seen NRG do, I think it might be an operator and an Odin. I think they might have been inspired in that case. The only problem is they would also then need, I think, Patman to drop like 34 kills like Kiko did to get them through the map.
He saw them there. They don't think he saw them. But that paranoia, nade is perfect. Unitone with a little jump peek, and XLG just didn't react as a result.
Look at the damage.
Happyway is almost dead, and they've lost a player.
Did Rarga just heal himself?
I think so, Tom.
Because he's used the heal, and Happyway is top health. Maybe just a reactionary decision, but
sorry, Miskler.
لأنه يقدر يريز. أنا أعلمك يا مخرج، لأنه يقدر يسوي بلانت يكون مع رز. مع رز الحين. فلو مات بيريزه. ريزه.
And now they get that res in play. It's going to leave Lysor a bit healthier, and caught out is Patman. It was starting so well for the side of GE, but now they are a man down again.
Happyway still on 12 HP, and now the Odin's starting to ring out, but he's backed out of the site. Those wall bangs won't even get close to him. And with an op on the other player,
لا 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 تكفون لا تزقون فيها تكفون.
They're just going to go for the save. Sensing too much danger here, and XLG grab themselves a 9th round as a result.
It's just immediately.
يا رب ما تروح ماب ثالث تكفى. ابغى اشوف القرعة يا اخي.
All of these positions just because Leo just walked out and baited the wall.
شوف الطحن اللي بيصير يا الله.
Actually going to flank them until then, but what a recovery from XLG. That round started with an unbelievable amount of damage done off the back of the nade, and then from then onwards, GE just crumbled. Like it was again just players trying to be a hero in these moments. Like a swing out of a smoke, then moments later, another swing out of a smoke. They are being caught out in isolated fights, and that's exactly what XLG want.
It was looking like we were getting towards the home stretch for global esports, like a 2-0 was on the horizon and growing closer by the second. But now, shoes on the other foot, things have slowed down, and a 4-round streak has put XLG right back into this game. Right back into this series and right back into contention for playoffs. It's GE with a weak 5, still the op, still the Odin, but the rest are with pistols, and they're isolated. Uniton stands no chance.
He was kind of meant to be the second layer to the operator, unfortunately.
He
ended up being left alone. Immediate call to try and go back in the other direction, but Raga is still here. Plant seems guaranteed, and once again, once all of that utility goes down, that's at least a nice spam. It's one of the few weapons, but are they now just going to opt to go back in the other direction again?
Looks like plant down below is going to come through. Crystal trying to contain them, but won't find anything from that spot. No paranoia to work with. The break back in. Patman has a gap in the wall, but they should know by now. He can possibly walk through, and now they most certainly do. Getting anything here should be tough. Patman's the only one that's risking his life. The rest of the squad is saving those weapons yet again. Not worth throwing at a round like this. And maybe if they found one more pick, maybe if something else had gone their way, they'd try. But instead, well, the question is, will they be allowed to save them? XLG are hunting them, at least in the case of Varga, but he will meet his demise.
Yeah, they've got so many credits that it really does become irrelevant. And as said, with their ults being so impactful, think about the res in the prior round. I don't think he's going to care if he goes down, as long as he's getting those ultimate orbs. I also think this brings back an interesting conversation at the beginning of the veto, because obviously I'm not going to pretend to know these teams better than they know each other. They're scrim partners. They probably know each other better than anyone else. When I was trying to predict the veto, I thought the G would ban this map and risk playing Fracture. It was something about the Fracture of XLG that maybe they didn't want to play, or they thought they had a counter on this map.
لا مو طفشان يا اخي الصدق الماتش مو عجبني.
I'm starting to question if that's true.
10 rounds and a lead for XLG. A showstopper online for GE, an investment. Full credits. An operator that's been saved for so many rounds, and now it has the early round impact. Now it lands that blow to XLG to put them a man behind. Their response is to scale up into C, and they will find this very free.
Yeah, they bait the wall. Crystal realizes that, yeah, I can opt to try and fight this alone, but once the utility comes in, it's going to be incredibly difficult. That's a little bit risky, though. Leo was trying to bait them in, and he succeeded. Obviously, they're not planting towards the waterfall because of the spams coming through on the other side, and even still, they just can't find the safe space. That will be the moment, though. No man with a decent shot. Showstopper now coming through, but it's Raga again! You said he's been having a standout game, but this really is a step up, an immediate headshot. Still, these fights becoming more and more awkward. A 2v2 down to
الله يا قلاعك.
holds the line. 2 kills for him, 2 rounds ahead, and XLG hightailing it towards Breeze.
Oh, that is a backbreaker round. G had it all. They had the opening picks, they had the ults, they had the tags, they denied the plant, and they threw it all away. Over eager, spamming with an Odin, 80 bullets through a smoke, and you don't think they'll shoot back? Jumping in with the showstopper when nobody else is ready to go. This is a team that lost their way.
خلصت تيموتها كلها يا عيال. يا اخي لا توديني بريز الله يرحم امك.
Invested somewhat. 3 rifles. But that showstopper out of the equation. The Blade Storm no longer around. This makes life so much easier for the attack side.
Oh, I like the aggressive push-up, though. The set strategies have not been working. Let's resort to just trying to punch them in the throat. A walk up, and they got past Udaton. It's only
واحد بس.
It looked like there was an opportunity for more than that. Even still, man advantage held. Harvey not really with the weaponry to do too much here, and with the TP to the back of the site, a post plant will ensue, but 2 of those sentinels are gone. It's only going to be No Man's util this time.
Oh, Leo can run through on that dog, but he decides to go back, wary of more players. Wise move. Goes the seas. A little further than expected. Perhaps GE now have their ult to go through. Weapons are going to be removed from the hands of XLG, and the push is about to come through. No Man gets caught off. Leo ends up killing him with his own flash. Javi, that's a big mistake. And it's given a chance now. Rifle back online for XLG, and they'll find a flurry of frags. 12 rounds for XLG. And GE have got to be kicking themselves. They have thrown what could have been a lead, what could have been a competitive map, maybe even a favored one, and they have thrown it to the wind.
Oh, this is looking like the ultimate capitulation for global esports. 7 rounds in a row. Each one that goes by feels more and more like the one that will finally break the streak. That one definitely the peak of it, but again, back-to-back rounds where Lysor steps up. And now just one needed to take us to a 3rd map. GE might look back at this and be kicking themselves. They could have had this. Instead, they walk into the blender. 3 players gone. A 2v5 needed. And while this round is looking like a breeze.
For GE, as you said, a 3rd map now on the horizon. It seems almost impossible for them to fight their way back into this one. It'll be devastating knowing... No, they're going to be slowed down even more by that util potentially. Oh, they made it past. But knowing that this could have been, if not a closed game, a much closer one, and instead, look at what they're running into. Crystal, okay, that's a double and a chance to break his teammate out. It's not quite over just yet, but now it very much seems like it is. The time too far gone, the slow on the spike, and more than enough bodies to throw at this situation. It is 13-9. A resounding answer from XLG to Haven. Global Esports will not find this 2-0. In fact, playoffs still up for grabs after the break.
تعال تصويت يا عيال. كلمك يا ابو محمد.
Patman with a big play up close. You're going to see a lot of risk taken by him based on what we've seen from them so far on this stage. What they face off against
يلا قفلت معليش يا ولد ما انتبهت.
A single upgrade for XLG. The chances of even dropping a weapon on the other side
قفلنا تصويت
very
قفلنا.
low, and add to that the fact that Patman,
يعطيك العافية
as you've
صوته.
seen, he's got to pick with the sheriff. That is his primary weapon. So even one kill is not going to be enough to have any damage in for GE. There's one kill.
You know what? That went better than expected. There's only a pistol on the other side. Never mind. The fadeaway. The almost no-look headshot from Patman. Single player drop, but that rifle's been retrieved. And now G can go in with a fairly strong purchase.
كان قفلتي انت طيب يا.
He's got a lot of opportunities as well. For the first full buy, you should probably have the Viper's Pit online because of this 3K and I think it was a 2K in the pistol as well.
إن شاء الله ينهون سنابة يا
Set
رب.
up very nicely to now have that pit on 3 away from it in the early stages. Although maybe you'd want to see it on normally a jet with a Sage for the little bit extra buffer.
يلا
You're
ما
going to use
نسامح
4
ذي المرة.
players on A early on. They're looking for a serious
المرة الجاية خصم
and
راتب.
even after they see the first, they shouldn't expect it to be this stacked up. And there's the second aggression.
حلو.
Beautiful stuff from Crystal.
حلو.
Who's walked out of there with 2? That's weapons on the ground to potentially be upgraded.
And on the other side of things, like maybe in a normal circumstance, Leo would look to try and hold on to that ground, but instead, him having the spike means he has to.
محتفظ فيها عندي ما عليك.
The wall is what allowed them to gamble, but Harvey, after dropping down, went back up for a peek, and now because of that, they have lost all of that control.
Steps heard by Lysor, but he's not landed the shots. Luckily, he doesn't pay for it with his life. Udaton could be behind them a little quicker than expected. They're certainly clearing it, at least they were, but Leo's now looking elsewhere as the wall breaks. He's just walking in to fill that space. They'll come back to clear it though. Has to hit his shots from Udaton, and he will. Another player around that corner that he doesn't know about, but he's looking the right way for Lysor, and it looks like he's got all the pieces of the puzzle.
هات البونس دمرهم بالهاف انهين الجيم سريع يا وحش يلا
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that seemed like better positioning and a read on the scenario than if someone had just used a cypher roll. Like, he was just looking exactly where his opponents were standing in every single moment. Solid round from Udaton, and considering that was of course a bonus round where a lot of it was Bulldogs, that is a huge round to take early on. Again, a hot streak for GE in the early rounds. And for the other side of things, well, I initially saw Lysor invest into a rifle, but it's not going to be as much of a gamble. Pistols and a stinger to come into this round.
Just with so many times we've seen GE, it feels like fall off a cliff face in terms of that momentum. You want to see them keep putting rounds on the board. I feel like XLG have a chance to fight back almost at any time, especially after what we saw on the last map. This round shouldn't be won. There's a lot of weaknesses for XLG, as you'd expect. Losing that third round is a death sentence for your economy. They don't go for the grouped up full sight hits that we so often see. It looked like they're trying to check how GE are playing that early position, looking for aggression out of the double doors, and perhaps it was the second they heard that Sage wall up, they realized, yeah, they're not fighting for this space. We're going to have to hit a sight hit. That means running into a lot of dangers.
Couple of missed shots. Well, not for No Man. Able to get one. Harvey on the backside. He's taken so much damage. They traded incredibly well. And does Udaton risk it? Does he risk it? He does, but just gets out of there with one. Face. Patman's got to be careful. The fallback. I believe that shot dart did a lot of damage. It did an assist onto Leo. Even still, position of Happyway is not going to be checked. And because of that, he now has a rifle from Patman. Puts it into a 2v2 that, if anything, is favored at this point.
And now it certainly is.
قاعدين يزقون فيها والله.
As deadly as the last. It's 3-1 for XLG. You know, you talk about that ability to fight their way back, to get back into the game. How important it is for GE to streak those rounds. Well, you see it here. It's a MasterCard Thrifty that gives the first round to the attacking side. And again, think back to how GE lost the last map. I think having these interruptive rounds is only going to hit them harder because of how this series has gone.
It happens a little bit surprised to see Raga going back over to that Phoenix. It's not been the greatest of agents, but if he starts hitting shots like
خلاص توزيع رواتب المودات.
I think they're going to be very happy indeed. Udaton already about to challenge into a multitude of players. Autumn with the trade, and Martin now pinged up. They know exactly where Harvey is. A lot of what he needs to do is just try and avoid the angle of Raga for a second or two more, and that's exactly what he does. A swing back around, but then he's open to the wall. Isolation of those players. In fact, Patman's been caught again, the last man standing. He's got a weapon you like, but
يا شيخة لا عندك الموضوع.
I definitely don't like his chances.
أنا أنظم وأنت تدفعين له.
The trade at a minimum for XLG. That's what they were.
الله يحفظك يا محمد. ما قصرت.
China's number 2 certainly not giving up on that playoff spot.
مودات لهم رواتب.
Facing into a very light bite from GE. They should be at least putting this equal early on.
أنا دخل أنت اللي قلتي. أنا
Seems
دخل.
like Happyway might have Patman's number. A lot of those rotations, that's 2 rounds in a row that he sat there waiting for him and catches a freebie.
Yeah, I think Patman's going to have to maybe
خلاص راتب صفر. إذا تخاذلت يصير عليك حقوق بالسالب.
I think something that almost needs to be talked about now is in terms of regional strength. There's been a lot of talk about Pacific, their depth in teams. If GE lose this game, it will just be Paper X. It'll be the only one left. A good one to have left. XLG certainly looking to try and make that storyline become a reality already. Down to just 2 players remaining. The Patman, I think holding on to the gun holds so much more value, but Happyway again is going to be the one to catch him.
والله ما أدري يا ناجد.
And now for Harvey, of course, in this case, only having a Guardian, the kill holds more value, and there you go. Ultimate online, he'll fall. They'll be able to buy into the next round.
We got to see a pause soon from GE.
لازم ياخذون
XLG are
باز.
picking up too much momentum, and like I said, thinking about how the last one ended.
أبغى أشوف القرعة يا رجل. أبغى أشوف القرعة اللي بعد الماتش والله أكون صريح معك أنا سيدة.
And in so many of those rounds, think about one of the last ones. 5 versus 3.
لا ما نمشي من عندي العنود. لا أنت امسك الرواتب. خلاص امسك رواتب البنات أنت. وانا بمسك العيال. عيال رواتبكم. رواتبكم عندي يا شباب.
Are a victim of their own snowball. They're being rolled over by an avalanche on XLG, and halting that momentum is being too difficult of a task so far. No timeout. They run right into this. XLG fighting for the lead. The team being taken by Lysor, and they have no idea. It's huge for Lysor. Batman this time needs a little bit more than just the one. The site has fallen in the plant. Seems undeniable.
Yudotan has done well though.
It's down to 30 HP.
والله انهم زقوا فيها.
He's winning the fight, turning it into an even scenario. But these retakes, even when even, haven't been successful. Rez will give them the advantage, but it's also burning time off the clock while they wait for it. Nice shot from Autumn, but he's now low as well. His post plan needs to be some shots connected by Leo. He's got Raga alongside him, but now Leo is all that remains. He knows that at least for that moment there wasn't anybody on it. Can he see the arm? He can. Shockdar needs to connect. It needs to be perfect, but it's the shots instead of Yudotan again. The hero of the round for GE will be there to close.
The man was 30 HP. He got a heal and ends up on 25. That is a narrow margin, but GE, a win is a win at this stage. Yudotan having to do so much work though. It can't be relied on. Yes, he's had games where he is doing this every single round.
خلاص الأمور المالية عندك يا العنود انتهى من اليوم رايح. أنت المدير المالية. أي شيء أموال يا شباب اللي طالبوها هي.
If he slows down, XLG run away with this.
Well, you can see the confidence as well. Like Lysor, while that Hunter's Fury is going off, full TPing behind them.
لا لا يكلمني.
He was great on the last map towards the end.
أمسك العيال وأديهم لك عرفتي أقول يلا يا شباب روحوا عندنا.
One side, stack up of players on the other. Heal immediately going to be needed because the spam almost gets rid of Yudotan.
أنا أنظمهم لك. وأنت عاد تصل فيه الله لا يهينك الله لا يهينك لا سمحت. يا أخي كل واحد يقوم بدوره. خلاص. هذا دورك. تعال نقطة لا تكثرين كلام معي لو سمحتي.
That attack side have to be careful entering, but it's Yudotan instead who's going to be the one moving forward. There's nobody covering this. But he's not quite able to get the kill.
It's a nice return by Crystal. It's Happyway down. Maybe Patman can push the spawn this round.
خلاص إيميل الناس.
Certainly not a likely play.
Oh God knows.
تمام نرسل لك ايميل عن كل ذا والامور ذي وانت خلاص الباقي عليك. لا يجي حد يزعجني. ترى بخصم منك. علمت.
They're going to have to push right into it, aren't you? Here we go. The running back put into play. They have to get through the slow, and Yudotan's already.
عاوز اخش بقى.
Gets nothing for his trouble. Yudotan's there with another. A GE now, after slowing down, after letting XLG in, a 4 versus 2. Now a 3 versus 2. As numbers start to slip, you get spooked as Happy falls. You get scared, and now I'm terrified. It's only Autumn. 1 versus 2, a total force, but not a
كيف سووها يا رجل خاف الله.
How did they lose that? genuinely, it's madness that XLG are coming out of these rounds. I think the first kill comes with Yudotan just stepping into a Molotov, and then they just peek one by one. If there isn't a pause here, I almost will start to wonder if the GE coaching staff have just given up, because that is crazy that round ended up slipping away from them.
Still no pause?
والله العظيم استغربنا تايم
Maybe he's broken the button.
On we go, I suppose. GE now forced down to pistols. Maybe they'll even save the pause for the full buy. See what they decide to do with this one. Early aggression, wall put up. Happy Way doesn't seem too aware of the possibility of someone up on top. Didn't seem spooked by it, but now he certainly is. The thing is, in this round for GE, like, yeah, they've got a couple of sheriffs. They've got the headhunter as well. They've got a bandit. Everybody's capable of taking a decent fight. Not a favorable one, but a decent one.
شاهي وميمن.
But the problem is, the numbers for XLG, once they go to push and pull the map, they can take so many fights on this map that are ranged, and you're not winning those, even if you trade headshots. That, on the other hand, is just close enough.
Oh. We've said it already. The one guy who has been on, the one guy who has been hitting is Yudotan.
خلاص بس يلا جاهزين لي بالله تشيك بالمطعم.
This is the problem.
العنود بسرعة.
They seem very aware.
كم نحتاج؟ مليون ريال.
Where the danger
الله
is in
يهينك.
terms of re-aggression.
They're B splitting though. They're B splitting. That means they're going to bring the spike to Yudotan. It's 2 kills. It's a tough task in the flash. Oh, it should seal the deal. What a nice try though.
Yeah, the fact that he hits the instant shot, it was committing to playing his life. The remaining 2 players.
والله قلت لكم انهم نطيحوا كم سلاح بس يلا.
To play with. The headhunter is definitely the biggest threat, but the second we've seen XLG in these sort of post plants, it has been so incredibly difficult for their opponents to get back in. Again, Leo has a shock dart. They have a snake bite as well. They just have post plant utility that it's going to make things incredibly difficult. A lead seemingly almost guaranteed unless Autumn can hit some very fast shots, and he's not going to be able to. Happy Way in a deep position once again. It's a bit of a costly round for XLG, but with the streak still going.
يدورها أصلاً.
And there it is, the timeout finally coming in from GE. This is ahead of a very important buy round. You lose here, and XLG guarantee themselves, more or less, they would only be on 6 for the astute counters amongst you, but it would be facing into a light
ولد يلعن ام القرف. عطنا تايمات يا كوتش.
Win the half. To guarantee the lead. Now, then you add to that
XLG,
if they get out of this round without using the Viper's Pit with the Hunter's Fury, their chances of winning this round, if they do commit those, go up a little bit more. And for GE, this has to be an airtight plan coming into this round, because XLG have safety net after safety net.
Oh, looking at the Coinbase win condition, I think it might have just been rattled off by Frost in the coaching booth. I think it's not so much round 9, it's the round before. They had such an insane advantage and let it slip away just by giving those individual fights. And there's no doubt that there are shooters on the side of XLG. No slouches for sure. Lysor has been having a great, I want to say, map and a half. He really came alive towards the end of the last one. 5 of the last 6 now going the way of XLG. They could continue this streak further. We've already seen it in the last map.
The problem is that round 8, like you said, this was the round that everything fell apart. That was the round where GE had the advantages. And it's almost unforgivable for me, because I think they lost Lotus as a result of the exact same round. It was 5v3. They threw ults at it. They threw themselves at it, but they went one at a time. And that wasn't the only round towards the end that they did that. It was the most egregious because of how it unfolded. For GE, same mistakes being made.
Tagged.
XLG happy to punish them. Now they move towards the A site in a crucial round with a Viper's Pit for the post plant.
Passive position now from Patman. Had to fall back just in case. Seems like Lysor is at least considering that he could be in this corner. And timing not the best for him, but Patman unable to capitalize. Now he has to move, and Lysor has his number once again. The spam perfect, and he's still dealing death from above. Taking the lead in the kills department. And while there's plenty more going their way in this round for Autumn. He just wants to save.
هذا زقل في لعبكم خلاص اطلع
Taking
اطلع بس.
over. A pause taken into a buy round, and XLG are flawless.
On the upside, they use their pin. On the downside, they still have the Hunter's Fury. They're close to a run it back. They've got a massive economical advantage, almost guaranteed lead at the halftime. And Lysor looks like his confidence level has shattered through the roof. This is devastating. It's a 2-round gap. It doesn't seem that big of a deal, but 6 out of the last 7 rounds there for XLG. GE were 3-0 up facing an eco. It should have been an easy 4-0 start. Instead, they've stalled out at that number after taking a while to get there. And look at XLG's plan. GE are on an eco. We're going to sit in spawn. And eventually, they'll use their util. Eventually, they might even push us. And then we can just take the round.
At least there's some deep utility, which would give the game away. Drone also been heard. Autumn, this is risky, but it needs to be, and that's a really nice shot. Can he get away? That's the real question. All being revealed. Hunter's Fury being expended at the same time, creating some disparity, and Lysor is genuinely the best player right now by a margin. Yudoton. Those two have been going back and forth in terms of individual brilliance. Nice shot from Happyway, though. And with Autumn so desperately low, 5 health, he'd need to be immediate with his reaction times. Patman yet to find any sort of weaponry, still just with the Sheriff in hand. And Happyway round this corner might not be expected to be so desperately close. In fact, he won't be. It leaves Patman now with a gun in hand, but still 2 players to find, and even utility being expended. They're trying to hit him with the shock darts while vulnerable. All he could really hope for is to create some space, but he will not be able to. Another round, and now the half one as well.
ليش ممنوع التدخين في الستيج؟ والله يا صقر ما ادري، المفروض يسمحون صح ويجيبون واحد يغير لك فحم بعد. غريبين يا اخي.
Against a team that they know all too well. It felt like today there were 2 different power levels stepping into the server, and maybe there were at the start. It felt favored to GE, but now
لازم نشوف لنا حل الموضوع ذا صقر صح.
Change in full effect. 1 round left in the half. Here on Breeze, XLG have a chance to lead 8-4, and the chance for playoffs looking better than ever.
Bit of spam damage.
It's the worst player to spam though. A Phoenix who has an ult.
Yeah.
He's going to come right back into that game.
والله حرام تي1 ما تأهل ولا جي ولا DRX.
After their victory yesterday was, can they beat anybody other than their own regional rival, or will they now just bomb straight out of the tournament?
جي والله.
They're looking to really
start
asking some questions of some teams. Of course, those upper seeds get to choose who they face, and I'm starting to wonder if people won't want to choose them. At times, they're unorthodox. Their composition's risky, but they're the ones that make it work. And speaking of risky, just look at this man play. Finally, Patman will put him in the dirt, but there's a second layer every single time. And for Harvey, oh, that one should be free. It almost isn't. 36 health, but he'll get a heal.
One from
but look at the position of Raga. Why would you expect him to be here?
The reveal coming from main as well. You're fully locked in on that position. He should cast an eye in this direction, but no. Too focused on main. 8-4. The team who started slow in this series woke up on map 2 and now have a dominant lead in the 3rd. XLG seem to be playoffs bound.
Oh yeah, after being 3-0 down, it's crazy the way that they've brought this back, but we need to find out if they can close it after the break.
Come on, let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The GE players, otherwise they will be joining Full Sense on that plane back to Pacific.
Well, this is it. A pistol that carries so much weight. It is essential for GE to find this one. For XLG, One step closer to playoffs. Wrap around from Leo is good. He'll get a kill, but it's only the trade out. They've lost Happyway. Javi ready to strike in mid, finds another, but he's now under pressure. Surrounded, and he makes it out. The door is allowing him to slip back to the squad with a man advantage.
Yeah, a powerful post plant.
Great job.
بس اتمنى والله XLG يسويها وياخذ البستل عشان ينهي الجيم ونشوف القرعة بسرعة.
Towards main, this corner position from Yudotan might not even necessarily be expected. It will, but it doesn't matter. An immediate headshot.
والله ذا يلعب ذا
This
ودتون
man
والله.
expected a 2-0, and if it was off his ability, it might have been. He's been having a great game. Goes for a little more. At this stage, of course, the clock becomes their greatest friend. Even still, though, they're losing a lot of members all at once. He almost needs to get this done now, and Harvey will keep it in their favor. A much-needed pistol round for GE.
Yeah, probably not the round you want to be winning by 8 HP, but look, a win is a win. And for GE, a much-needed one indeed. Again, this is where they have found the vast majority of their rounds in the first half. 3-0 start. I even remember at 3-0, I said, you know, it just feels like at any point XLG can bounce back. Didn't really think we'd see it in the first half, let alone in the 4th round, but that's going to be in the back of your mind as GE here. Yes, you win the pistol, but every little helps from this point forward. XLG, actually, I mean, Autumn is in a ton of trouble. All 5 players are here. There's a paranoia ready. He can TP back, but even then, they should be on him.
He's the one player you kind of don't mind being in too much trouble, though. Maybe other than Patman, because the second he hears all those footsteps, stun in to support him, and they could just opt to hightail it in the other direction. And that's exactly what their opponents think. Okay, we have just given away the game on one side of the map. Let's quickly rotate to the other. All 5 players now in mid. Now, as said, the other sacrificial lamb would be Patman. Only with a pistol, light shields, not a whole lot to play with. And if he's about to see half the team go through, well, he's taken 3 for it. Fair play. He didn't really need to get too much. It is not going well for Autumn, that's for sure. But all they really lose is a ghost and a marshal. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, not going too well for Autumn indeed. 5 and 12 on the chamber. It's a bit of a shaky map for him. Maybe things could change, although you'd expect it on the defense to be where those numbers can be put up. XLG did a great job of avoiding him, and oftentimes it just ripping his head off.
To be fair to Autumn, when they played in the last map, he was very good in the attack. I remember him jumping into angles with the operator, even versus Primi, and he was able to win those fights. I think it's just a confidence thing. He's been having such a rough game that he needs to break back in.
GE looking to break into the A site quite quickly. This is the full buy from XLG. Ops on the other side of the map. Big tag up on a Yudotan. It's risky, it's spooky, as now the op is the one primed for the fight. A little early on the angle. He doesn't expect them to be that close, but Autumn just ran into him, and they have no idea about Happyway. He gets damage done, but the kills, they need to follow, and they do. At least one, and there's no man's third. He's tagged Crystal through the smoke. The shot dart close as it may come. Crystal's life has a timer on it, and that timer is ticking. The sands of time running low as Raga will catch him rotating. 9 on the board for XLG. 4 players surviving as well. That's a big money maker round, and no man's on his feet.
For those who don't know, there's a running joke with him that he always gets a 3K. And look at this, the amount of damage he does to the final player. It's just, it's crazy. It's genuinely like it's written in the stars.
لا كان يعدد لك.
Oh, you know, 4K was taken anyway. Tex just had that title for quite a while, but if he wants to claim the 3K, it genuinely seems like it's written in the stars. His operator taking over, and now in the right place at the right time again. Of course, that was a bonus round for GE. But with the weapons they had, they might have hoped to do a little bit more damage. The operator seemed to maybe blindside them a little bit that it came in so early. It won't again. They're definitely going to know it's here.
Now it's on Autumn to find this space. They've sent the drone to A. It's a weak fake. It hasn't pulled rotations for XLG. It hasn't made them panic. They still have first contact on Happyway for the right side push. Rarga on the angle as well. The double swing will come in just moments after, and Snakebite lands, but well, this is, first of all, Snakebite's a little deep. Autumn can't get back out of there. Patman's on the wrap round, and he's been spotted, but with Happyway down, it feels like a lot of the danger for GE is already gone, and mere seconds later, every other piece falls too.
That was a great round from Autumn. As said, like, he's been having some real struggles, but to go swinging in onto that B site, win the opening fight, and then play through the Poison Orb and find the second, that could breathe some life into the team. Just a small timing on it. And then while Patman finally getting a little bit revenge, catching players on the rotation after being caught throughout the majority of that first half. Again, another solid start
تشكيلة يرحم أمكم
on
يلا.
the side of GE. Can this turn into a victory, or is it going to be the same as the last couple of maps where XLG find their momentum and then the map is theirs?
Well, it seems like XLG's plan this round is to leave that A main hit alone, let them take the space, and instead fight back into mid. Paranoia was being primed by Lysor, but, well, no one's there. GE decide on the slowest play possible, really, from Patman, the man who comes into this round with the Viper's pick. You'd expect him to be with the pack, and instead he sits behind lurking. Now wall goes down. Granted, it's only to cover his cross back through, but he is instead just containing the space behind them. Everyone on site
يسيفون.
can be content that their back is secure, and that allows them to fight forward with great confidence.
Yeah, important to have him as that backstab. It was something that you mentioned,
Decider
that he was
هذا.
getting caught on the other side, often by Happyway, and now he's been able to do the same to him. And I think that was what it was about. Like, you have to bear in mind, these teams play each other regularly in their scrims, and so
والله يا أخي أبغى أشوف يا أخي.
you're going to have to be smarter. They're going to know some of your tendencies, so playing much deeper,
ما عندي مشكلة.
playing off-site with a
سوي
Viper's
الجيم
pick,
يسوى
it's a little
ويحمس
bit
بقول
obscure,
أوكي.
but it's worked out wonderfully for GE. Hunter's Fury. And even a couple of ults just one away, okay.
It is definitely a round that GE want to be cautious in. And I say GE, but I don't say Patman. He's been taking risks, even in these rounds. You can go back to Lotus, you go back to Haven. We saw it as well, some TPs up against the Ecos as well. But his reward is huge. He's gotten himself double doors control. He's pulled the rest of the squad back towards this A site. The Molly's going to slow them down for a moment. The Paranoia, though, this could be deadly from Lysor. He's gotten around that wall, but he won't have enough ammo to finish off the kill. And in fact, it takes a while for Raga, but in goes the Hunter's Fury. It was aimed at Javi, but he survives, and because of that, gets himself a res. Puts this into a 4v2, and again, it was definitely a bump in the road, but it looks like they've weathered the storm.
Good chance as well that Patman's position's not going to be expected. It doesn't matter, though. No man will win the fight, but with Happyway still just down to the classic, a wraparound even coming in from behind if he was to get anything. And it seems like the goal is maybe to just try and retrieve the rifle, but that's easier said than done. 9-9, GE's fight back continues as they will level up and get themselves onto the same score. However, this is where the pause was for. And honestly, this got a little bit dangerous. I think if it wasn't for Javi having just the reactions to put himself up on the wall, he's probably dead. And then that Hunter's Fury might have eliminated half of their team.
Well, honestly, if the Hunter's Fury is tucked in a little bit behind that corner, I think he gets the kill onto Javi as well. That would have stopped the res from coming in. Never mind the man advantage. They would have been neck and neck, and XLG would have had a chance to get some rifles. It is worrying with how things have gone before, but as you said, the pause was for this round. XLG come into the previous, and they do a pretty good job in the brawls. This flash, oh, it's not a pretty flash. It hasn't made it around the corner. Ult's gonna be popped though, and Larga going in through the wall of Udaton, and he has sent the entire attacking side out of A main. They have no space elsewhere on the map either, and the trap's gonna be broken. And I think even worse, they think Lysor's there. They must have heard the TP. Thank God they were spamming it.
Yeah, look at some of the control, though, in the defenders' positions. They've got deep presence towards B. They've got deep presence towards mid. They're definitely not playing afraid at this stage of the map, even after losing a streak of rounds. And by the looks of it, Raga thought, well, you know, the last flash was so good, I'm going to attempt this one again. 40 seconds up and coming on the clock, and a lot of this feels like Patman is a huge part of this one. They might be looking to try and hunt him down.
30 seconds left.
The fact that he avoided the fight, he thinks that they've just left him as an unaccounted for factor, but Patman back turn to Hathaway. It's an easy pick up now. The push out to site under heavy threat. 15 seconds. The plant needs to be found fairly soon, and there's more than enough players here to cover every angle. No man with two. No 3K this time, but a flawless round for XLG. Just as good.
Man, every time we see the Voya take a pause, there's impact. Every single time. The trap setup to start it off with the run it back.
لا تسوى كريزي وهي قالت تسوى.
He has been annoying. They have been caught by him multiple times, so they don't flank through the spawn. They just hold their positions. Much more patient. And even No Man just waiting in case they were to go back to B. But once they had the information, cross through, they hold that ground. And they punish Global Esports. Of course, though, Global Esports have been getting a lot of rounds streaked together. Plenty of economy to buy into this one. Tour de Force even going to help out a little more. And Mitch, they've got the ults.
قرية موجودة في خميس مشيط جنوب السعودية. هذه ديرتي أنا. بس ما تندحى.
Double digits for XLG. They'd left B decently open, but the rotate back in from Happy.
قاعدة ميثاقته.
One away from the Viper's pit as well. The drones almost perfectly in sync coming out from both sides, but that mid space that was just cleared by XLG, they don't know that Patman is they do know, they very much do know that Patman is flying under the radar. He has been caught for free, and now man advantage for XLG.
I genuinely wonder if that was part of the pause hunt to try and find that man. The spam doing so much damage. Autumn was waiting for the right moment, and it never quite came. Already. That overdrive is going to be poured into play, but you have to bear in mind it ticks away pretty quickly. Bladestorm also thrown in, a lot of ultimates into the round, but Crystal's late position is going to help out a little bit. Losing teammates on the other side, he has to try and expend that Hunter's Fury, and he will be able to do some damage, a lot of damage. In fact, Shockdart might just clear it instead. He's found the team, and there is Crystal again! Another Red Bull clutch to add to the collection!
Oh, this guy came to London in the zone. I don't know what they're putting in Crystal's coffee, but this guy, a Red Bull clutch found here, and it's certainly not the first big round we've seen from him. Again, every series has had a map where he is by far the best player, but outside of that, in every map, he's had these rounds, he's had these moments, and that keeps us even. That keeps GE in with a chance. The Viper's pit right away from Happy Way towards this B site. But there's three players looking to fight A main on XLG. Meanwhile, the wrap is coming around. GE have got a ton of space. Patman's been picked off right away. You can see XLG are wary of this Leo. They'll caught with his bow and arrow out. It's not a favorable fight. This spam good from Lysor to at least trade it back. But it looks like the rest of the team is so far behind. But at least the trade from bottom will keep this competitive.
ترى زيك ابغى اشوف القرعه ابغى
تخلص. It's an immediate response from, well, both sides of the map. Happyway falls out of his pit, knows he could be surrounded, and the other players have then got aggressive in towards A main.
اجل كيرا بقسيتك فيني وخذي معها طلبيه باكج ماهر عشاني ما حد لجينا ما حد مسكين ما حد انا عندي
in their favor, but it's very slow from G.
بس
They are expecting
ما عليك عندي معاد انت مو طيب.
Has been all the way through the map. Whenever they rotate, there
is ما عليك انت يا ماهر ما عليك انت اسكت بس.
This is one of the first times.
تبقس لا تسلي.
Yeah, in fact, Happyway gave up the Viper's pit. He dropped it.
بس بتسوي لك ضبط اعدادات وامورك بتزين في
He's covering off this mid push, making sure no one comes through there. And if you know they haven't come that way and they're not in A main, it's pretty easy to guess where they might be. The only problem is the chamber trip's still behind. The smoke, though, going to cover it off. Half covering. They're able to sneak their way past. This is huge for Lysor, but he won't catch the plant. And now Autumn, he's looking back. He's worried about the window. No, in fact, he's worried that they've done exactly this, that they've made it past his trap, but the bait is beautiful. Rarga drew his eye and has left
لا هو ما
Crystal
بحماس متقارب
in need of
النتيجة،
another.
بس لعبة القرعة احنا متحمسين عليها أكثر من الماتش اللي طال.
Lysor's alive on 5 HP.
بس
But Crystal might still have done enough. The spike though being diffused as we speak. The man with 5 health, the man who survived the battle with Crystal just moments ago, sticks it right around the corner. 11 for XLG. And that's gotta hurt. That's gotta sting.
وبعدين المولي كأنه ما دمج واجد. توقعت يموت من المولي والله.
This is the problem. Go back to the last map when the streak continued. Who was there? Lysor. Look at this map. 24 and 14. There's been impact players throughout, but
back in the driver's seat, you would hope, for GE, or this will be an event that they will be quick to forget.
اللي قبل شيء اللي بعد التايم اوت انا احسب يحط يثبتون الشاشه بين 1 في 1. اي ذول الكوتش ومساعد الكوتش لما هم اللي يطلبوا التايم اوت.
On the edge of making it to playoffs or making it onto the next flight home. Run it back. Available, happy way. He's just going to catch Yudaton. He tries to be a hero and instead has gone down immediately. The judge still up close, still causing issues. The trade-out should be there, but he's still got a teammate to play with. Crystal has got 2 in a second. It would have to be an ace. 3 players were still on the other side of the map. They maybe thought that those 2 could do some damage, but they've almost won the round alone.
Chance to make this to 12 for XLG.
إذا هو كويس لازم يبش.
Started this series down a map, needing the reverse sweep.
بس ما عنده وقت بيسكبونه.
And Crystal has been the man that has caused so many headaches for them. But look how patient they are. Where GE were in the lead on Lotus and they made some individual mistakes. They were a little ambitious in the fights they took. Well, it's a different story from XLG. They took in, they played together, and they win together 12-10. 2 chances for XLG to eliminate Global Esports. 2 chances for XLG to make it to playoffs.
We're down on the previous map and needed a mass streak of rounds, which they got. They've been down in this second half as well, with GE again seemingly finding that momentum, but once more, Avoya takes a pause. The game turns on its head, and now the pressure is all on Global Esports. It looked like they came into this game as the favorites, eliminating Full Sense on their journey while XLG took down DRG. And now it all comes down to this happy way. Well played! And he's taken out 3! That might just be the end! Crystal alongside Autumn, who's already down to 10. He's already gone. And now Crystal with the most impossible clutch of the lot to keep Global Esports in the tournament. They know exactly where he is. Revealed, blinded, spammed, and eliminated. It is XLG that go marching on to the playoffs. And GE will be heading home.
XLG تعال نعطيكم على سريع قبل القرعة. طيب بيسوون الحين ترى القرعة حقت البلاي اوفس، خليكم موجودين. واضح يا عيال اللي ما يفهم، هذول الأربعة التوب من كل ريجن اللي في البلاي اوفس من زمان قبل السويس ما لعبوا السويس. طيب بيسحب هو كورة ذا الحين، الكورة طلعت مثلا على بي ار اكس، كوتش بي ار اكس يختار أحد من الأربعة اللي تأهلوا من السويس، فالأربعة الكبار ما راح يقابلون بعض، بيقابلون المتأهلين. واضح؟
Who picks first? It is Josh
G2.
G2. Let's all cast our eyes on who you're going to be picking. Any thoughts?
أتوقع بياخذ XLG.
I like how you're pretending to think hard about this.
بياخذ
You
XLG.
know who you want. Go on.
XLG. قايل لك.
It's our last recruited playoff team, XLG. Any thoughts as to why? Why have you just chosen the team that's still celebrating down there, Josh?
Honestly, I feel like we have a good matchup. I know the coach, I know the players very well, and I feel like it'll be a good game for us. You know.
Just a little bit of friendly banter. Nick, hands in the balls, please.
أعرف الأمريكان يحبوا يلعبون ضد الفرق الصينية. وبيتعذب جيتو منهم. ما راح يكون ماتش سهل.
I need you to say it into the microphone please. Nick, crack it. EDG. Autumn stroking the chin. I love that these coaches are making things dramatic. They know.
وش خذوا؟
Show it to the audience.
Foot.
Autumn has picked foot. Any reason?
Looking fun.
Looking fun.
Okay.
That's what we're here to have, guys. Fun.
نار. لا حد يقول لي مو نار. تيمين فول دبليو، تيمين أوب، تيمين مجنن. يا الله اللي باقي. الأخير هذا بيحدد مصير الماتش الأخير.
I don't blame him. HyperX.
خذ فيتاليتي. أليكس سوها.
I like Neilzinho looking so disappointed. You've already got 3 teams from Europe in. Come on.
قلت لك تقول لي بياخذ فيتاليتي. شفت ليفيتان.
What's that? Say that. Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to be a banging matchup. I can't wait to see the aggression in that particular one. And Neilzinho, wait, no. Nick has to crack your name first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, those are the rules.
My bad.
Okay. Come on, Nick.
أدري إنه قال بس أنا قلت له.
What are the chances? It's Team Heretic.
تيتش الله ما درينا.
There you go. Oh, what do you know, guys? It's another regional matchup.
يا أخي ظاهر إنه ريجنال ماتشاب. ليت والله خذ فيتاليتي خلوا ليفاتان ضد تيتش.
Neilzinho, does this surprise you?
No, honestly, I kind of expected not to get a chance. I don't know why, but yeah. Well, I'll take one. Like you said, there's 3 teams in the playoffs, so yeah. I'm happy.
Well, I can't wait to see when these matches
are
happening,
من يوروب أصلاً
but that
صح.
hasn't been decided yet because Nick needs to go backstage and have a natter with the powers that be from Riot Games. So make sure you keep your eyes on the socials to find out who'll be playing when.
يا عيال
day off here to reset, give people a little bit of a break. But on Friday, we'll be coming back with the playoffs bracket. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then.
See you then. Good night. أخيراً بلاي أوفس. تعالي شوف الجدول. شوف الطحن. G2 XLG الحماس EDG فوت BRX ليفاتان تي. الثلاثة هذه بتكون حلوة بعد.